How you doing? Yeah, we gonna get you on a little bit today. We'll get you on. Do we have three? We should have third set. Yeah, we do. Okay.
Yeah, say if we got halftime stats and stuff, get him ready. He can run through all that while we.
You don't mind running halftime stats for us if they give them to us? Okay. We'll get you on for that. That'll give us a chance to get down there and take a break. Okay. Welcome everybody to Schueler Field in Cincinnati, Ohio, as we bring you another edition of Mount St. Joseph University football. Today's game will have the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers against the Mount St. Joseph Lions. Chuck, we've been here once. It was an offensive display that was not to be forgotten as they put up, Mount St. Joseph put up 59 points. Rose-Hulman is 0-2 and has had a tough time. And why don't you talk a little bit about the Fighting Engineers?
Sure. So Rose-Hulman comes in at 0-2 on the season. They started off with a visit to Mount Union, and it ended like most people probably would expect it to. They got knocked off 54-0. Then last week they hosted Rhodes, and they also got nipped 43-19. So, they've shown so far they've had a little bit of problem, getting the ball in the end zone. They need to definitely find a way to get some points on the board, and they've got to find a way to shut down this very, very potent Mount St. Joe's offense.
It's kind of scary when you look at what Mount St. Joseph's done. They won their first game 59-21 over Capital, who's an OAC team. And then they took on Division I Morehead State, losing 48-19, but they had over 300 yards, Chuck. So we know they can move the ball on anybody, and that's got to be a concern for Rose-Hulman, because if they cannot stop the Lions' offense, this is going to turn out to be a long day.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like we talked about, Rose-Hulman on the season, on this young season, is averaging giving up almost 50 points a game, and obviously Mount St. Joe is up to that task today. So, Rose-Hulman's really going to have to stiffen up on defense and try to hang in this ball game.
Now, wouldn't you say part of the thing for Rose-Hulman is if their offense can't possess the football and they're going 3 and out and continually turning the ball over to Mount St. Joseph, that's just going to lend to the scoring for Mount St. Joseph. So their defense has got to step up as much as their offense.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They have to play defense with both sides of the ball today. They have to play well on their defense, and they have to do the job keeping Mount St. Joe's off the field by eating up some of this clock today.
Yeah, and when we look at the keys for Mount St. Joseph, keep the balance. They've got Colby Newman. They've got Chaitlin Tomlin at quarterback. They can pass. They can run. If they can do that, that creates a lot of problems for no matter who they play.
Sure does.
Protecting Tomlin, if he can stay upright and you can't get pressure on him, he will pick people apart. And then, would keep the Rose offense in 3rd and long, 2nd and long situations with sacks and tackles for losses, and that's going to make it more difficult for a struggling Rose offense. And for Rose-Hulman, Chuck, what are some of the keys there?
Well, just like we talked about, they have to get some 3 and outs today. They've got to keep that potent offense off the field and just shut them down from time to time. Also, they need to really make sure they possess the football, like I talked about earlier. They need to play defense with their offense.
Yep.
And just try to keep the ball away from Mount St. Joe's. And thirdly and lastly, they've got to force some turnovers today. They've got to make some plays on defense and find ways to get the football out of Mount St. Joe's hands.
And, of course, you're listening to Campus Nation. We are in our Game of the Week program with 3 minutes to go to the kickoff, so we're about ready to get going here. Chuck, reviewing Thursday night, we were able to go out to Urbana for our second game there, and what a great game there. It turned out, Urbana jumped out to a lead, but Lake Erie College of Painesville, Ohio came back and made it a good game.
Yeah, they really did. The first half, we thought it was going to be a blowout, and we really ended up with a really good football game. So
we hope today that we're going to get some more good football and get a Heartland Conference opener here for both teams.
Yeah, that's right. Again, both teams were picked to finish well this year in the Heartland, and both want to get off to the right start here today.
It's got to be a little bit of chip on Mount St. Joseph's shoulder. They were picked 3rd to finish behind Rose-Hulman and, of course, perennial power Franklin.
Yeah, that's right. So they'll want to get after it today and really set the tempo for the rest of the season.
I believe we're getting ready for the national anthem here. And the teams are lined up. Captains are poised to go take the coin toss. And here comes the rest of the Lions. The Lions have white helmets with blue jerseys and white pants, a Penn State kind of look, as Chuck had alluded to last time we were here. And Chuck, what about the fighting engineers over there?
The fighting engineers come in today in their gray pants and white tops with red trim, and so both teams look well equipped and should be a fun day here in Delhi.
And Chuck, I'm looking down at the south end of the field here, and I see people up on the hill there putting little tailgates going on, and at Cal Berkeley they call that Cheapskate Hill. where they've got the fans who don't want to pay, but these guys paid. We're not. We're just kind of having a little fun with them. But what a nice setting up there, where you can just, have your family up there, put a blanket out, watch a football game, and
good day to find some shade. And there's some shade up there. About the only shade I see around here today.
Yeah, definitely a little heat on the field. Of course, that turf is going to be about 10 degrees warmer. Okay, we're ready for the national anthem. Chuck, I think I need to get myself some Mount St. Joseph team wear here.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of fans here supporting their Lions, and great rendition there by the Mount St. Joe's marching band. All right, so we're set for the introduction of the Mount St. Joe's team. They're getting ready to run out on the field, and
of course we could run down the starting lineups, Chuck, if you'd like to get the fighting engineers there with their. Do we get the toss? We haven't got the coin toss yet, so we're not
Captains
quite.
Are still lined up. So, real quickly, the offensive starters for the Engineers today. At quarterback is number 2, Andrew Dion. He's a 6'2 sophomore out of San Diego, California. He's joined in the backfield by running back 21, Garrett Wright. He's a junior out of Williamsfield, Illinois. The receiving corps today for the Engineers, number 1, Sawyer Young. He's a senior from Hayward, Wisconsin. Goes 6'3", 210. Other receivers, number 10, Adam Sturgeon, a 5'11 sophomore from West Lafayette, Indiana. And the other receiver, number 4, Jake Zimmerman, a sophomore, 6'2", out of Escondido, California. Up front, the tight end will be number 11, Bryce Dobbs. He runs 6'4", 215. He's out of Queen City, Arizona. The left tackle is Ben Walker. He's 6'4", 250, out of Springboro, Ohio. Lined up next to him is 65, Jacob Huff, a 6'3", 330-pound guard from Rockport, Indiana. Anchored up front by the center, number 60, Drew Hobeck. He's a 6', 250-pound senior from Zionsville, Indiana. The right guard is 56, Michael Kern, a 6'2", 245 senior from Lafayette, Indiana. And the right tackle, number 61, Lucas Liner, is a 6'4 senior out of Fishers, Indiana. So, some West Coast players here today for Rose-Hulman.
Okay. The toss was won by Rose-Hulman, and they decided to defer, which means Mount St. Joseph will go on offense first. And at quarterback for the Lions is Chayton Tomlin, number 1, a junior. At running back, number 30, Colby Newman, freshman. At wide receiver, number 3, Chase Pankey, a junior. Number 8, Grayson Roberts, a senior wide receiver. At flanker, number 11, Cooper Earls, a sophomore. At the slot, number 4, A.J. Glynns, a senior. Up front, we've got at left tackle, number 72, Jake Kaiser. At left guard, number 50, Alfred Allen. At center, Cole Tepe. At right guard, number 58, Brad Murphy. And at right tackle, number 68, Kavanaugh McCarthy. So those are the starting lineups on offense for both teams. And Rose-Hulman will be jumping on defense here, and Chuck will get, as the game goes on, we'll get you caught up to date with the defensive players.
That's right. So the kickoff here, the duties are handled by number 16, Brett Tuttle. He's a 5'9" freshman, and he's all set to kick. So we'll
and back
we're
deep,
about underway.
As always, number 18, Troy Speakman. And we've got number 20, is it 28 or 29 there, Chuck? I can't.
Yeah, I can't tell.
I think that's 28 of, that would be Arvante Neal, a freshman wide receiver, 5'9", 150 pounds, and that looks about right. So
the ball blows off the tee, and Tuttle's going to have to reset it here, and he does. And so I believe now we're finally ready for the opening kick.
Yep. So we will see. Would you agree with them giving the ball to that potent offense? They must have a little confidence in the defense.
Well, I think also, too, you really like to start the second half with the football. So.
Okay, Speakman's up over to 20, 25, 30, gets outside and goes out about the 31-yard line. Nice return by Troy Speakman to start out for the Lions.
Yeah, it really was. Gives them some decent starting field position for the Lions today. So
Chayton Tomlin, number 1, directs the offense. And the explosive number 30, Colby Newman, freshman running back. Chuck, what a treat to see him run in that first game.
We were very impressed by this freshman the last time we were here, and can't wait to see what he can do today.
So we've got a 2-by-2 set, and Tomlin in the gun with Newman off to his right. He looks, and he goes deep, a little pump fake, and it's caught by number 8, and that is Grayson Roberts. And that is a almost a 50-yard gain.
Yeah, it was. And I'll tell you, Parker Lapham was on the coverage there, and he just got beyond Parker a little bit, and then Parker was just trying to stay in his hip pocket and just couldn't catch him.
Yeah, and Tomlin pump faked a little flare pass to Newman, and then went deep and found Roberts wide open. Three receivers to the left, a new set of downs for the Lions, one to the right. He looks. And he's going to Roberts again, and it looks like Roberts has got it for a touchdown.
I'll tell you, they picked on Parker Lapham 2 plays in a row, and they've been able to get behind him. So let's see if that continues for the Lions.
So in 41 seconds, a kickoff return and 2 offensive plays, the Lions are in the end zone. And, Chuck, this is just an extension of what we saw 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it looks like they never stopped, does it?
No. So a lot of excitement, a great crowd on a Saturday afternoon drenched with sunshine here in Delhi, Ohio. So Jerry Porter is out for the kick. And I guess if there's been one weak point in the Lions game, it might be the extra point kicking.
Well, I'll tell you, it didn't look too weak right there, Bill.
But Porter nails it. Yeah, Porter drills it through. He's 5 of 7 on the season. And so looks like he's been working on that, and he's now 6 for 8 on the year. Coming into this game, Chayton Tomlin is 36 of 55 for 632 yards already, Chuck.
Wow.
And 8 TDs. So we know that we're going to see the ball in the air quite a bit. Colby Newman has 23 attempts rushing this year for 176 yards and 3 TDs. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season. Chase Pankey, 6 catches, 158 yards, 2 TDs. Grayson Roberts, who just caught that touchdown pass, his first of the season, 6 catches for 123 yards. Cooper Earls, 4 catches, 70 yards, and 2 TDs. And number 4, A.J. Glynns, the senior, 11 catches, 152 yards, and he leads the team with 3 TD receptions.
All right, so deep for the Engineers, number 24, Riley Roberts, a freshman, and 15, Caleb Brown, another freshman. So a lot of confidence in those young men to have them both out there in the deep position.
Jerry Porter gets ready to kick for the Lions. He drives it deep, and it's 5 yards deep in the end zone, and they elect to bring it out. They're out over to 15, 20.
Woo. Brings it up past the 30-yard line, about to the 32, and that's where the Engineers will take over, 1st and 10.
So we've seen 2 good kickoff returns to begin the game, Chuck.
Yeah, we really have. This could be an exciting day of special teams.
It might be.
All right, so again, the Engineers now take the field again from their own 31-yard line, and again, led on the field by number 2, Andrew Dion. And Dion, so far this season, has struggled a little bit. He's 15 for 46 for 178 yards. Does have 2 touchdown passes.
All
right, so the give is to the back up the middle, and he's going to be brought down after a short gain. Going to make it 2nd and about 8 now. Let's see if we can get the number there.
A big number, 98, I believe it is. And that would be Zach Taylor, the senior defensive.
Rose-Hulman right to the line. 3 wide receivers to the top, tied into the bottom of the screen. And there's a give over the left side this time. The give is the number 21.
And I believe that's number 18.
That's Garrett Wright. And again, Wright looks like he lost a couple yards there, Bill. It's going to make it now 3rd and 10.
Troy Speakman, the corner, came up as soon as he saw that, Chuck, and wasn't going to allow it outside, forcing the running back to take it inside, and Speakman drops him.
Yeah, that's right. So Rose-Hulman decides to huddle up this time, thinking a little better of their no-huddle offense they tried before. So now we have 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Running back is to the left. Dion eyes the defense. There's the snap. Dion drops back, throws down the middle of the field. It's complete to number 9, but that's going to be short of a first down. So again,
it looks like the Lion defender who made the tackle. We'll get his number in a minute. Number 1, which is Noah Abel, is a little shaken up.
I think he's still in the game, though. T.J. Ballard on the reception. Again, T.J. makes the catch, but it's only good for 4.
Abel's a little wobbly coming off the field there, Chuck.
They're actually going to stop play here and walk him to the sideline. So 4th and 6, Rose-Hulman's punting unit comes onto the field, and the punter today for Rose-Hulman is number 4, Jake Zimmerman. Again, 6'2", 190 out of Escondido, California. So kid came a long way to punt the football.
Yes, he did. And back deep is, of course, the kick returner extraordinaire for the Lions, number 18, Troy Speakman, back in single safety position. So, I don't know, that no-huddle offense could come back and sting Rose-Hulman if they can't stop the Lions.
Yeah, that's exactly right, like we talked about. I think that's why they slowed it down and decided to huddle up there and just regroup.
And it's high booming kick, rolls down to about the 31-yard line. Ironically, that's where they started.
Down by number 21. You're right, Bill. That's exactly where they started last time. So,
and we saw what happened with that.
Yeah, let's see if they can't get a similar result.
So Chayton Tomlin with the ball for the 2nd time in the game.
All right, and Rose-Hulman comes out in their 3-3-5 defense, 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. They actually have another lineman check in the game, so it looks like now they're going to go with a 4-man front.
And we've got a little double tight formation by the Lions, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers.
They're actually going to run a 5-man front here for the Engineers.
Roberts motions from right to left, and Newman not so successful on his first carry, dropped for about a 2-yard loss, it looks like.
I'll tell you, a lot of penetration right there. Number 45, the linebacker, Colson Carmel, just shot through the gap and is able to bring him down in the backfield.
So the Lions get up there 2nd and 12 at about the 29-yard line. Tomlin looks at, he's got a ace formation to the top of the screen. Gets it out on a quick screen to Pankey, and that's going to be a no catch, I believe.
Incomplete. I'll tell you, nice job there. I'll tell you, Rose-Hulman's doing some hitting right there. Tomlin took a nice shot after he delivered that ball, and then the cornerback number 15, Caleb Brown, made a nice hit as soon as the catch was made to knock it incomplete. So,
and I believe Caleb Brown is from Toledo Central Catholic, Chuck. When I was looking over the roster before.
I believe that he is from Toledo. I don't have his high school, but that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And, of course, Central Catholic produces some pretty good football players.
Yes, they do. Some very strong football up there. Yeah. So, 3rd and long now for the Lions.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And we've got Tomlin looks it over. He's got Newman to his right. He drops. He looks. He steps up. And he's got number 4. And I think that's Nick Murphy.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this side, they go to the other side. They pick on the other cornerback on this time.
Oh, that's A.J. Glins. A.J. Glins with a big reception of about 39 yards, Chuck.
Yeah, A.J.'s had a big season so far this year, and just continuing.
Yeah, A.J. with 11 catches, 152 yards, and 3 TDs coming into this game.
I believe he had a touchdown at Morehead State last week.
Yes, he did. 3 receivers to the right. Newman into backfield with Tomlin. A little play action fake. He steps up. He gets out of the pressure.
Oh!
And met by Rose-Hulman's number 45.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that was Colson Carmel. And, I think Tomlin kind of fell down there, and it was on his knees when Carmel gave the hit. I think that looked a lot worse than it was.
The one thing we've noticed, Chayton in that first game, he would prefer to throw the ball than run.
Yeah, but he can run when he has to. He's shown that he's got some legs.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. I think he's disciplined enough to know that throw first is his job, and tries to do that.
2-by-2 set for the Lions. Newman offset to the right of Tomlin. Tomlin has a 2nd and 10 situation, long 10, and Tomlin looks. He fires, incomplete. The ball was intended for number 8, Nick Roberts.
Yeah, a little high, but I think Nick
Grayson Roberts.
Just went through Grayson's hands there.
Yep. And I checked that. That was number 2. And number 2 for the Lions is Chase Pankey.
Yep.
So, 3rd down. Tomlin steps up, rolls to his right. He's going to run out. He's going to get the first down. He's over to 20, down to about the 16-yard line. They'll mark it at the 17.
Yeah,
and another first down. Nice, timely running, just as I say that.
Yeah, that's right. Miguel Cooper able to trip him up there, but not before he picks up the first down.
Okay, so got to do a little engineering here on my roster.
All right, so 2 receivers to the top
and
1 to the bottom of the formation here.
Tomlin looks, gets it in to Roberts.
A nice little inside slant there, and again, Roberts did a nice job with his body there, keeping it between him and the defender. And sorry, that was Gleans.
That was Gleans
with a catch there.
Sorry.
Nice job using his body to shield the defender there.
Okay, so 2 to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Tomlin with 2nd and short, so there's a lot of things he can do here, Chuck.
Yeah, playbook's wide open here for sure.
So he gets ready for the ball. Newman off to his left. He looks, he throws a smash route to number 4, and that's A.J. Gleans again, the senior.
And again, with 9:35 to go here in the first quarter, Mount St. Joe's jumped out to a 13-0 lead.
Chuck, what I noticed on that drive is Gleans was the receiver of choice on that drive. In the first drive, it was Grayson Roberts. So it makes you wonder. I mean, it seems like every drive they're going to shut down one guy, and it's the other guy that steps up big for the Lions.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm surprised we haven't had more of a steady dose of that freshman running back, number 30, Colby Newman.
And Porter's kick is good, and it's 14-0, as Chuck said, with 9:35 to go in the first quarter. And what a job by the Lions in this rivalry game. Make no mistake, this is the equivalent for them to Michigan is to Ohio State. This is their big rival in the league, and 14-0 lead. Of course, in rivalry games, Chuck, that doesn't always hold up.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of emotion out there on the field today for both these teams, so I wouldn't be surprised that Rose-Hulman's able to claw some life back into this game here. So Rose-Hulman set to receive the kickoff now, and
Porter
for the Engineers are going to be number 22, and not sure who it is on the other side. Bill, can you get a number on that?
We got number 5, and it's number 5 on the left side. What would be the right side?
Rose-Hulman.
Rose-Hulman. You got Parker Lappin, number 5, and 20. Is it 22? Is the other one?
Yep, 22, and that is Maxwell Hatch. He's a sophomore running back out of St. Charles, Illinois.
And Maxwell's listed as the number 1 backup to Garrett Witt, who is the starting running back for the Fighting Engineers.
All right, so going to be fielded in the end zone. This time takes a knee, so they're going to come out to the 25, and that's where the Engineers will take over, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and I would venture to say, as if this score starts to get a little bit more lopsided, you'll see a lot more pressure packages coming by the Lions, which is going to make it exceedingly hard for the Engineers to get something going.
Yeah, that's right. And again, like we talked about, they really need to get something going and
right
keep
now
this Lions offense off the field.
They sure do.
All right, so they come out with a 3-wide set, 2 receivers to the bottom, 1 lone receiver to the top. Back is offset to the left. And fake, and now swings it out to the left side to complete to number 11.
Ooh.
And number 11, that's Bryce Dobbs, the tight end.
Troy Speakman comes up from his corner position to make the tackle after a short 1-yard gain. And assisting him was number 97, Logan Bright, the senior defensive end.
So 2nd and 9 now for the Engineers. They break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. 5 wide receiver set this time.
So they empty
Dion alone in the backfield.
And here comes
jet motion, fakes it. Dion keeps it around the left side. He's able to get up to about the 31-yard line for call it a 5-yard gain. He's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 now for the Engineers. And again, big 3rd down here. They really need a conversion here.
Peyton Williams, the senior safety, steps up into the box to make the tackle. And Chuck, I'll tell you what, number 32, Sean Sullivan, got held pretty severely on that play there. He was.
Well, that's not a bill. There was no flag. Okay, so 3rd and 4 here now for the Engineers. Quick slant to number 8. It's complete.
Thrown in front of Speakman.
Complete to number 8, Noah Thomas. That's going to be good for a 1st down. So the Engineers get their first down of the day.
Yep.
Started up to about the 38-yard line. Again, right to the line now for the Engineers.
Okay. The Lions with a 1 deep safety look.
Dion with the give.
Counter tray.
Bounced over the left side, number 21 on the carry. That is Garrett Wright, and Wright's able to bounce it, but looks like we got a flag here. Might have a hit on the sideline.
Yeah, and I think Sean Sullivan may be the one they're going to tag for that, the middle linebacker.
Okay, so Wright's run was good enough for a 1st down. It looks like we may tack on another 15 here.
Yeah.
With the official indication here, and it is a personal foul against the Lions. So again, that's going to move Rose-Hulman into the plus side of the field for them, and even closer to the Mount St. Joe's goal line. And they 1st and 10 from the 35.
And the best thing they can do right here is to keep the Lions' offense off the field, Chuck.
That's right. You know, we talked about playing defense with their offense, and this is a good example of that. The Lions have shown they're not one to slow down today.
No, they're not.
All right, so the give and a fake.
Oh, and reverse. A little reverse. But Speakman,
Again, the reverse to number 8, Noah Thomas. And Thomas is hit almost immediately as he comes around the left side. He's going to pick up about, we'll call it 3 yards, but that's going to be it. So
a lot of discipline by Troy Speakman. Stayed home at his corner position, stepped up to the line of scrimmage, saw the reverse, drops the man for.
Yep. It's all about doing your job.
Yep.
So Rose-Hulman now with a 3 wide receiver set, 2 to the top of the field. There's the snap. Fake, a swing out to the right side, complete to number 8. And again, that is Noah Thomas, and Thomas getting a lot of action here so far in the 1st quarter. He brings it up to about the 28-yard line, where it's going to make it now 3rd and we'll call it a long 3 now for the Engineers.
That was Tyler Hanna on the stop, the 2-time all-conference corner, and he was assisted by free safety Tavon Robertson on that.
All right, so the snap and the give is to Wright this time. Wright goes around the right side, bounces it outside. He's finally knocked out of bounds, but again, not before he picks up a 1st down and gets it inside the Lions' 20-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 19.
Okay, so a little drive by Rose-Hulman, and they could definitely use this.
That's exactly what we talked about they need to do here to keep Mount St. Joe's off the field. And so fake the swing pass, and he looks down the field, throws for the end zone.
Oh, and I think it's picked off.
I think it was intercepted, and it was.
And it's Tyler Hanna. We just talked about the all-conference corner.
He sure did. He's made a living doing that, and he just gets another one there. So, again, Rose-Hulman able to, make a nice drive, eat a little bit of clock, get down the field, but all for naught as Dion throws it up in the end zone, and it is intercepted by Hanna. So it's now going to be 1st and 10 Lions from their own 25-yard line.
I think that comes out to the
20-yard line.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll get that straight, Chuck, because I'm not.
The old school touchback.
I was going to say, I'm not with all these new touchback areas. Just creates more things for the officials to think about.
That's right.
Or the fans.
Or your lowly announcers.
Okay, so it looks like it is a 3-by-2 set. No backs in the backfield. Tomlin looks it over. He drops quick pass to number 9. And that is, we'll get that here in a second.
Well, I'll tell you, Bill, this won't show up in the stat book, but nice job by the Mount St. Joe's wide receivers out there to get on their blocks and stay on their blocks there on that screen pass. It didn't go for a lot, but they keep that up, and that's going to break.
And correction on that, that's Grayson Roberts with another catch. Grayson having a big first quarter here. So we've got 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. And there's the drop. Steps.
Pressure.
Oh, and Tomlin goes down.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Rose-Hulman just, really did a nice job getting off blocks right there. And so guess who with another big play, number 45, Colson Carmel. Yeah, with another nice big play.
So it's going to be 2nd and 11. And
Carmel, the senior leader of this defense, has really stepped up here.
So Tomlin looks it over. He's got Newman to his left, 3 receivers in an ace formation to the right, 1 single receiver to his left. He drops and looks, steps up into the pocket again, goes deep down the middle of the field, and that's Glenn's again. And he is able to pick up a first down.
Looks like Parker Lappin may be a little shaken up there.
And that's about a 27-yard completion. And I'll tell you what, when the Lions get them, they get them in chunks, Chuck.
Yeah, they sure do. Chunk plays has definitely been the order of the day here for the Lions. And Parker Lappin still down on the field there. May have just had the wind knocked out of him or something on the tackle there. So we'll have to.
And we're hoping Parker's all right. So
up to his feet now.
So we got a little break in the action here at 5:14 to go in the first period. 14-0 to Mount St. Joseph Lions. And Chuck, it was a shame that the Fighting Engineers, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Fighting Engineers just couldn't finish that drive because if the Lions go down and go 21-0 here, that hole gets deeper and deeper, and I don't know if they have long enough ladders to get out of that kind of hole.
Yeah, that's right. That takes a heck of a climb there, and again, we'll see if they can't, get a stop here or a turnover.
Okay, so 2-by-2 set, and they're going to trade the tight end from left to right. That's number 3, Paul Miner, sophomore. And they're looking deep.
He's got a step.
And it's number 8, and that's Roberts. And Roberts with his second touchdown.
And I'll tell you what, Parker Lappin goes out. They go right to pick on his backup, number 21, Winston Amonkwa, a freshman. And, boy, they sure took advantage of him right there. And the score now, 20-0 Mount St. Joe's with 4:43 still to go here in the first quarter.
So, Chuck, if we want to talk about arm strength here, that was a 53-yard completion, but if you put the drop and the fact that it was about a yard into the end zone, we're looking at a 60-yard ball there, and it was right on target.
That's right. Chayton threw a dime right there, and he's shown us so far this season that he is one heck of a young quarterback.
And Porter with the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-0 in favor of the Mount St. Joseph Lions, and the train's running away, Chuck. Train's running away.
Yeah, it sure is. That bell is getting quite a workout so far today.
Let's hope it doesn't crack.
Continues. That's right.
So, yeah, I see where you're going with that, Chuck. So we get ready for the kickoff. Beautiful day here in Delhi, Ohio, just outside of Cincinnati. Nice crowd, Chuck. That's the one thing, and I know you brought this up. We've seen 2 games at Urbana. We've seen 2 games here at Mount St. Joseph, and a great turnout for the football games.
Yeah, it really has been. It's it really makes it exciting to come here and be a part of this because it really gives a nice atmosphere, and I'm sure these young men love to play in front of these crowds like this. It's got to be a lot of fun for them.
Sure. And I think for your entertainment dollar, this might be a better value than what you're getting sometimes with the NFL.
Certainly a cheaper ticket.
No doubt about it.
So the fair catch is going to be made at just inside the end zone, so that's going to bring it out to the 25-yard line, and that's where the Engineers will take over, 1st and 10 4:43 to go here in the first quarter.
So, just a collection of talent on defense for Mount St. Joseph. Speakman has been outstanding at corner today. The defensive secondary, of course, without saying, Tyler Hanna is great player there for them, and ended the drive for the Fighting Engineers.
Yeah, that's right. So there's the snap, and the give is to right around the right side, but he is hitting the backfield and going to be drugged down for a loss. We'll call it a loss of about 3 yards. That's going to make it 2nd and 13 now for the Fighting Engineers. So they're going the wrong direction, Bill.
Yes, indeed. And that's number 95, Spencer Kandra, the junior defensive end. Kandra just drags him down.
Just so that the people along the network are aware of this, we are going to shut down the broadcast between this quarter and the next quarter so that we can line up the other 2 cameras. So we'll have at least 2, maybe 3 cameras at the beginning of the second quarter.
Okay. All right, so don't go away, fans.
Right,
We're just taking
a momentary break.
Technical break. So the handoff now around the right side to number 8 this time. And again, 8, that's Noah Thomas, and we've seen him touch the football a lot now so far for the Engineers. He's going to gain about 7 yards, going to make it 3rd and low. We'll call it a long 6 now for the Fighting Engineers from the 29-yard line.
So, this isn't a really 3rd and long, but it's one of the more difficult medium ones that you could draw up as far as 3rd and 6, especially if you're getting pressure.
So Dion looks.
Oh, and a nice pass.
Fires it on the right side, and it is complete all the way down to about the 49-yard line. And it looks like, I believe that was that Noah Thomas again?
Yeah, I believe it was.
I think so. So
Sean Sullivan, the middle linebacker, made the tackle.
All right, so give is to Walker up the middle. Walker gains, we'll call it a gain of 2.5. So that's going to make it 2nd now, and we'll call it 7 now for the Engineers.
And Tavon Robertson, who had 16 tackles against Moorhead, stepped up into the box to make the tackle on that one.
That's right. So 2 receivers to the bottom of the formation and a tight end.
4-2-5 look by the Lion defense.
Dion with the snap gets the handoff to number 21. That's Walker. Walker up the middle and bounces it outside. He's going to be drugged down again.
Troy Speakman again.
Troy Speakman, that's right. He's been all over the place tonight. So going to make it now 3rd and 5 for the Fighting Engineers.
And I'll tell you, this they've got this defense working, and when the 4-2-5 works, this is what it does. It drops people for a lot of losses and puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
All right, so Dion gets everyone set now, and we've got a stoppage of play. Looks like we're going to have a timeout by Rose-Hulman. They want to talk about this 3rd down, and we can certainly understand why. With 2 minutes to go, they're down 21-0 here in the first quarter.
Yep, and so, Mount St. Joseph just has to keep their foot on the gas pedal, Chuck. I would say, it would be easy to get complacent with a 21-point lead in the first quarter, but, my coach has always told me if they can score a certain amount of points in a quarter or half, then
other teams certainly can too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this Mount offense looks like they're having a lot of fun out there, so I'm not sure they're going to get too complacent.
I don't think.
These young men are just having a great time moving the football up and down the field.
Yeah. Everybody, they distribute the ball well, and, I would expect that before long, we're going to see a steady diet of Colby Newman out there. We haven't seen a lot of them today.
No, we really haven't. The one time that I think he's really been a factor was on a fake.
Yes.
Where they faked the swing out to him and then threw the ball down the field.
To Roberts, yep.
All right, so Rose-Hulman now back on the field facing a 3rd and 5. Crucial 3rd down now for the Engineers, and the snap, the fake is to Walker. Dion throws it down the field. He's looking for Noah. And broken
up by number 12.
Yeah, again, intended for Noah Thomas, but nice job there on the defense for Mount St. Joe's.
Senior strong safety Peyton Williams comes back and breaks that up. Nice job by Peyton.
All right, so 4th and 5 now, and the Engineers are going to bring Jake Zimmerman back out on the field. He's going to have another punt here.
So Jake Zimmerman with a punt and back deep.
You know what? I'm not sure that is Jake Zimmerman, Bill. Can you get a number on the punter?
It looks like 30.
Yeah, that's not Zimmerman according to our roster. That is Mike Riley, I believe.
Mike Riley, I think, is a linebacker, but that doesn't mean he couldn't be a punter.
That's
It's 20. It's 20. And Speakman with a fair catch at about the 18-yard line.
20 is Seth Knoll, and he's listed on our paperwork as the backup punter, but maybe just a situational punter there. But either way, the punt is away and is down at about the 20-yard line, so that's where the Lions will take over 1st and 10 from
18 from the 18.
19.
Yeah. And so the Lions are ready to go here with 2:02 to go in the first quarter here at Schueler Field in Delhi, Ohio, just outside of Cincinnati. Of course, you're listening to Campus Nation at the game of the week.
That's right. They're watching Campus Nation.
They are watching and listening.
Well, let's hope.
Let's hope, yes. 3 receivers to the left, little bubble. They give it to
guess who?
Number 30,
Colby
Newman. And we had just talked about that, Chuck, that maybe this will be the series that we're going to see a little bit more Newman.
Yeah, we knew it was coming. And
Newman with a 3-yard pickup.
That's right, number 23 on the stop. 23, that is Mitchell Kelly for the Engineers.
So we've got tight twins to both sides, and they get the ball out to Newman in the flats, and Newman's able to take it up for a first down, it looks like. Yep, he just got to the sticks, and that's going to move the chains.
Yeah, really just a long handoff there to Newman.
So
give him the ball in space and let him do what he does best.
So they run the tight twins that bring the defense into the box, and then they get Newman out to wide and get it to him like, as you say, a long handoff. Okay, so here we go. And there's the drop. And Tomlin steps up in the pocket. He gets the ball off, but he's dragged down. Ball was intended for number 4, A.J. Gleans.
Yeah, hit as he threw there, Bill. Not
yeah.
Number 51, Corey Vincent applying the pressure there.
So into the game.
Vincent, the nose tackle.
So we've got 2 receivers to the right. And we've got Newman to the right of Tomlin. Slot to the left. And to give, a fake to Newman. And they get it out to Chase Pankey.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Pankey was really wide open there. The the Rose-Hulman defense, I think, had a blown coverage there in the secondary because you shouldn't expect to see a pocket that wide open.
Little quick slant.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen a lot out of Pankey. Of course, our first game here, Pankey had a couple of huge catches.
Well, he's up next, I guess, right?
Yeah, they're dialing him up.
Yeah.
So 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Newman to the left of Tomlin. Tomlin just, and the ball's batted away.
Yeah, it was. Nice play by Rose-Hulman there. And, to put a quick stop to that play, it looks like it was number 29 on the deflection. 29 for Rose-Hulman is Tyler Cockcroft.
Wonder if he's Don Cockcroft's nephew.
Yeah, I don't know.
Had to be grandson.
Possibly.
So 2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line of Mount St. Joseph.
Bill, I don't know who Don Cockcroft is.
You don't know who Don Cockcroft is?
No.
Oh, my gosh. So we've got 2 tight ends, 2 flankers, and Newman to the left of Tomlin. Tomlin looks.
Got a step.
And it was dropped. It was number
11, Bill.
Number 11, and that, I believe, is Cooper Earls.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Earls had the ball. He just couldn't hang on.
Cooper had his opportunity to get into the score column on that one, Chuck.
Well, I'm not sure he would have scored. He had to go down to get it.
It'd have been close, though.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 receivers to each side. Tomlin looks, 3rd and long situation. Here's a big opportunity for Rose-Hulman to get a stop.
Bringing the pressure.
And Pankey.
And they're able to get to him, and they bring down Tomlin.
Dragged down about the 40-yard line. So it's going to be a punt.
Looks like it was number 91, the big D lineman there on the stop for Rose-Hulman, number 91. That is Matt Mahalik, or Machalik. I'm not sure how to say that one. We don't need to have a pronunciation guy for these guys. But
So Jerry Porter's first opportunity to kick. He's averaging 41 yards a punt, and we did not see we didn't see him in the first 3 quarters punt.
Yeah, that's right, and they're not going to get this kickoff, Bill. They're just going to let time expire. So,
okay.
Again, fans, hang on just a second. We are going to take a quick break, but, again, please come back. Don't leave us. We're just quick technical break here.
Okay, we're back. And Chuck Hale with yours truly, Bill the Razor Rayback. And Chuck, we are in the second quarter, 14:08 to go.
Yep, the Fighting Engineers now facing a third and we'll call it 6 after a couple runs by Wright there. And so now under 14 minutes to go here. And again, 3rd and 5. The Engineers come out now with 3 wide receivers. There's the snap. Fake to Wright, throws down the left sideline.
They've got him.
He's got a step, and it's complete. Again, it's number 8, Noah Thomas, with another big grab there. Again, Noah's been a big contributor today for the Fighting Engineers, and he's going to get it all the way down to the 34-yard line of the Mount St. Joe's Lions. So, again, 1st and 10 now.
And Noah played his high school ball at one of the famous Indianapolis schools. Ben Davis
that's right.
Produced, I believe, Jeff George came out of Ben Davis.
Okay, so there you go.
For those who remember,
football tradition.
Yeah. Jeff George, who played for about every team in the NFL during his career.
That's right, including the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes. And the Oakland Raiders and the other 30 teams in the league.
Yep. All right, so we've got a stoppage of play here, a timeout on the field. And
so this is what Rose-Hulman has to get done here, Chuck, because they have to not only move the ball to keep Mount St. Joe off the field, but they're also going to have to get it in the end zone if they hope to have any chance of winning this football game.
Yeah, that's right. You know, they really were able to flip the field there, and they've got to play a little field position too, if nothing else. Give Mount St. Joe's a little more of a hard row to hoe there. So
yeah.
You know, that's what they've done here on this possession, and again, see if they just can't go ahead and punch it on in here.
Of course, Mount St. Joseph last time was able to intercept the football. Tyler Hanna picking it off in the end zone. So.
All right, so 2-by-2 look now for the Engineers. There's the snap, the fake handoff, and intended for number 10, but way too tall. Intended for Caden Weddle, but again, I'm sorry, that's 10 Adam Sturgeon, but the ball well over Sturgeon's head. So, again, Dion just, a little too tall there.
Tell you what Speakman did really well on that, Chuck, is he attacked with his inside arm and kept the outside arm free. And had he caught it, he would have had him dead to rights right there.
Yeah, that's right. You know, that's having that proper leverage out there, and he did a nice job there. So another 2-by-2 formation now for the Engineers. There's a snap. Dion looks. Now throws over the middle of the field, incomplete.
Wow. And that is Tavon Robertson.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and that was intended for number 11, Bryce Dobbs, the tight end. And Bryce had his hands on it, but got separated from the football. Nice job there by the Mount St. Joe defender.
Tavon has 22 tackles and 1 TFL this year, and he has a nose for the football.
And a pass breakup right there.
Yep.
All right, so 3rd and 10 now for the Engineers.
And those are cumulative hits because that makes your secondary or your wide receivers start to think about where your DBs are when they start blowing the boom.
Once that head's on a swivel, they're not looking at the ball.
Nope.
All right, so the snap to give is to Wright this time, and right around left side.
One of the best runs today, I would say.
Yeah, it was. You know what? And I want to apologize. I looked a little closer.
It's
White.
White.
That is Garrett White, not Wright.
Yeah.
So, Garrett, I want to apologize to you or any of your family out there.
Yeah.
Totally my mistake.
No.
All right, so they gain about a yard. It's going to make it 4th and 4. And, of course, given the field position, they're going to go for it here. So,
and why not?
That's right. So,
there's the pressure.
Dion
6-man.
on the left side, and he throws. He's wide open.
Oh!
Complete to number 1, Sawyer Young, and that's going to be good for a first down. Gets it all the way down inside the 10-yard line.
And I think that's Tavon Robertson again with the tackle knocking him out of bounds.
All
but
right, he's lucky to catch up and tackle him. So 1st and goal from the 5. Rose-Hulman right to the line. The snap, the give to White. White up the middle. He's going to get about 2 yards. Going to make it 2nd and goal now from the 3-yard line.
Tavon Robertson, the safety, steps into the box and gets at the bottom of the pile again, Chuck.
Well, there you go.
So during this particular drive, we've seen Robertson break up a pass, a touchdown-saving tackle, and gets in on a goal line stop there.
Oh, there you go. Other than the time Sawyer Young got behind him, he's had a pretty good drive.
Yeah.
All right. So the fake. And
Dion
keeps it, after the jet fake to Noah Thomas. And so Rose-Hulman finally gets on the scoreboard here with 12:01 to go in the half. Now makes her score Mount St. Joe's 21, Rose-Hulman 6. And Rose-Hulman now on to attempt the PAT. And looks like the kicker's going to be number 97, Adam Clark. And your holder is number 7, Eric Morris. And Morris did a nice job getting that snap up a little low, and Clark bangs it through. So your score now, again, with 12:01 to go in the half, Mount St. Joe 21, Rose-Hulman 7.
And Eric Morris, the holder, is the backup quarterback to Andrew Dion. He's had 9 attempts, 4 completions, and 12 yards, and a TD, Chuck, for this young season.
Well, there you go. So,
Mount St. Joseph will get ready for the kickoff return. Of course, back deep will be Troy Speakman. Will definitely be one of them.
That's right. Looks like it's going to be 18 and 29. So.
And number 29, let's see if I've got him listed. He's not listed as one of the primary kick return people. And that would be Aurelius Walters. Nope, I don't think so. Walters is a defensive end, and I guess it could be him. According to the roster, that's who it would be.
Okay, well, he's only 5'11", 165. So.
Yeah, and it could be.
Small for a defensive end.
Yeah, and Speakman's got it. He's up over to 20, 25, 30, breaks back up to the 35-yard line. And
finally banged down there, but a nice return there by Speakman.
What a fearless return. Speakman's shown us in the 2 times we've covered him that he will take that ball right up the pipe as soon as he gets it.
Yeah, that's right. He's dangerous with the ball in his hands.
11:53 to go. And the Lions take over at the 35-yard line. Tomlin sends 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He's got backs on his right and left. And I would believe that might be Ryan Bagnoli, the other running back, but let's see if that is correct. And no, that is a lead back. It was Newman with the carry, got it out to about the 38. And I think is it 48 or 44?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Bill. 44.
44.
Yeah. 45, Colson Carmel on the stop there.
And that was Cole Earls, the freshman fullback, 5'8", 185 pounds, out of Blue Ridge, Georgia.
Okay, I'd say he's every bit of that.
Yes, he is.
Thick young man. So
2x2 set. And Tomlin with Newman to his left. He drops. He looks. Oh, and he's got Pankey. And Pankey.
Yeah, nice throw and catch there. And I'll tell you, 14, John Kirby finally rolled over there on the stop. And if Kirby hadn't come over, that would have been a touchdown.
Pankey with a 47-yard reception. And Chuck, we talked about chunks. And that's what they do when they complete those passes.
Yeah, big chunks here.
So here's Tomlin. He moves Newman to his right. He's got 2 receivers to the right. And he looks. He gets the ball. He fakes, and now he's going to run a fade to the corner.
Step again, Bill.
And
that's
I believe,
a touchdown.
And that's number 4, A.J. Gleans. And, of course, A.J. has just had a pretty nice ball game.
Yeah, he has. And I'll tell you, give this Mount St. Joe offense a lot of credit, a lot of fakes, and a lot of work, by Tomlin there, shoulder shrugs and everything else. And, just throwing these receivers open because, they've been behind these Rose-Hulman DBs a lot today. 27-7, 10:41 to go here in the second quarter. And that's going to be the key to this puzzle for Rose-Hulman is they cannot let Mount St. Joseph come back. Kick is blocked. Rose-Hulman picks it up. Try to make a play here. Yeah, he's still moving.
He's over to his left. He's up the left sideline. He's
setting
got
some
a little
blockers.
room
He's
there.
down the field.
He cuts back to his right. Oh, a little lateral play.
Still alive.
Oh, number 11. He's going to get the
going to turn this into a score. Let's see if we get the final number of who finally.
Number 11, I believe.
Number 11. Okay, so 21. I believe that's Winston Amonkwa did most of the work, and then number 11, I think that's Matt Robinson, finished it off there for the touchdown.
Robinson out of Crum.
Sorry for the 2-point play.
Out of Crum, Texas. So shades of Cal Berkeley versus Stanford there. If you go back to 1982.
I didn't see a band on the field.
No. Well, we didn't bring the trumpet player out there, but I would have liked to have seen it anyhow.
So a little excitement here out of Rose-Hulman, and again, big special teams play. See if they can use that momentum to try to get something going here.
So if you missed that, if you were out getting some snacks and drinks when that play occurred, you might want to go back and watch that again on Campus Nation, because it was a pretty exciting play there, Chuck.
Yeah, it was. I tell you, that could be on your top 10 this week.
Yeah, that's all right. They can
rewind it.
They can rewind it. And they can watch as many times as they want.
That's right.
So nice play there. And Rose-Hulman in the oddest, maybe in one of the oddest ways you score points in a football game.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, that's for sure. All right, so the Lions set to kick off now.
Jerry Porter up the kick. And it seems kind of weird that he's kicking after they just scored, Yeah,
that's right. Not supposed to happen that way, is it?
Yeah, no, it isn't. So
we're going to be fair caught.
Down to the
inside the 5-yard line by number 21. I believe that's Garrett White. And
in the old days, that would be a no-no.
Yeah, that's right. But in the new age of football, that comes out to the 25. So
yeah,
better than a touchback.
Your coach would have his nose stuck in your face mask had you done that under the old rules.
Yeah, it would not make a lot of sense to do that last year.
No.
All right, so the Engineers now take over 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line, now trailing 27-9 with 10:41 to go in the half. 3 wide receiver set, 2 to the bottom. The handoff is to White up the middle. White able to muscle forward for about a yard, maybe 2. That's going to bring up 2nd and 8 now. You know what? Actually, they're going to give him about almost, now they're backing the stick up. Yeah, maybe 3. So we'll call it 2nd and 7.
Jermaine Drake, senior Will linebacker, stepped up and made the play on that. So there's the run. White again. And it's number 3 again, Jermaine Drake, senior linebacker.
Yeah, so White able to muscle it forward for about another 4 yards. Going to make it now 3rd, and we'll call it a long 3 for the Engineers.
And this, this could be a situation. It's a makeable 3rd down, but they may fake it and go deep on this, Chuck. Just
yeah, you never know.
To try to get back into it. No, they're just going to throw it.
Dion throws complete to number 11. That's the tight end, Bryce Dobbs, and that's going to be good for a 1st down. So the Engineers find a way to move the sticks and keep this drive alive.
A nicely conceived play. White flared to his left, taking the linebacker with him.
Yeah, kind of pulled the middle of the coverage away. And
tight end drag.
Dobbs was just able to find that hole. All right, so again, three receiver formation. Dion gives to White up the middle, and he's going to be hit immediately. He's going to be stopped for we'll call it a 1-yard gain there. Make it 2nd and 9 now for the Engineers from the 39-yard line.
And Tavon Robertson and Sean Sullivan were the first 2 there for the Lions. So there's the snap.
All right, Dion looks. Finally throws to his left side. It's complete. Nice move there by the receiver.
Close to the sticks.
Okay, so it looks like
that's White.
Was that White on the reception?
Yeah.
So nice job by White there to make a nice little move and make something happen.
So Rose-Hulman has suddenly found some combinations here, Chuck, that are starting to click and keeping the ball alive.
That's right. So again, 3 wide receiver set for the Engineers. There's the snap. Dion with a give to White. White up the middle. Again, puts his head down, barrels forward for about 3 yards. Crosses midfield. where now it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 49-yard line of the Lions.
And that was number 51 on the stop. And we will have to go to the roster on that one. And 51 is Connor McCracken, the senior defensive lineman.
Okay, I wonder if he's related to Ernie McCracken.
So
there's the snap.
He might be.
The give is to White again. White bounces it over the right side, and he's going to have enough for a first down, Bill. So, again, the Engineers putting together a nice little drive here.
Yep. Julius Phillips, number 33, the Will linebacker, was able to drag him down, but not after another first down for the Fighting Engineers.
That's right. So 1st and 10 now from the 41-yard line. Rose-Hulman with 4 wide receivers. The snap, the fake to White, throws it into the flat, complete to number 2, and that's not number 2. That's not Andrew Dion. So,
and that's number, I believe it's 30.
That was a single digit of one or the other, but
yeah.
Anyway, we didn't get that number, but completion is carried up for about 4 yards. Going to make it 2nd and 6 now for the Engineers.
And I think that was
there's a snap. The give is
Gavin
22.
Edmondson on the tackle.
22. That is Maxwell Hatch now in the game for White, and Hatch picks up we'll call it about a gain of 3. So that's going to make it now 3rd and 3 now for the Engineers.
Forward progress was stopped by number 21 Tyler Hanna, the senior corner.
All right, Bill, I think that was for Jake Zimmerman on that catch earlier.
Was it? So. Okay. Jake, we apologize.
Yep, so
6:42 to go in the second quarter.
Dion gets a new call from the sideline, now changes the play, gets the snap. Okay, the give is to White up the middle, and White's able to barrel forward, picks up the first down. So White with another nice gain, and, again, the Engineers just keep rolling.
And that was number 11 in on the tackle for the Lions, and that is Jaquez Fair Harris, the linebacker senior from Centennial High School in Columbus.
All right, so the snap now. Dion looks down the right side. And, looking for number 8, Noah Thomas again, but throws it harmlessly over his head there. And Thomas, not surprisingly now, drawing double coverage by the Lions right there.
One thing I've noticed here, Chuck, is that the defensive coordinator, Rick Thompson, is getting a lot of players in these last 2 sets on defense, getting some of the younger kids experience and some of his backups true game experience here.
And it's a hot day out there. Those starters have been out there quite a while. So
for sure.
The give this time is to, I believe that's White again, and White over the right side it is. So
and that's
White barrels forward for about 5 yards, going to make it now 3rd and 5 for the Engineers.
Senior tackle Corey Harden with the stop on that play.
Okay. Inside 6 minutes now left in the first half. Rose-Hulman knocking on the door here. There's the snap. Dion fires inside for Zimmerman. Caught. And Zimmerman finally drugged down, but not before he gets up to just inside the 15-yard line. That's going to make it 1st and 10 now from the 15.
Jermaine Drake with Troy Speakman and Peyton Williams converging on that tackle for the Lions.
Snap. Dion swings it out to White in the flat. White gets a nice block. He's able to barrel ahead to about the 10-yard line, just inside the 11. So
and the stop
that's going to make it now 2nd and we'll call it 5.
Stop made by Lion middle linebacker Sean Sullivan.
And again, they give to White. White up the middle. Makes a nice cut and gets it down to see if he got the first down or not. It's going to be really close here. And it looks like they're signaling 3rd down, so going to be 3rd and less than a yard now.
Number 99, Corey Harden again on the stop.
Dion now comes to the line. He's going to try to fake it or get the snap. Try to
There's all sorts of bad.
But yeah, that was kind of a fire drill there. And
Chinese variety, I believe.
Well, let's not go there, Bill. This is the 21st century after all.
And your point.
If you don't get it, I'm not going to explain it.
That's right.
I
do get it, but
okay.
I don't observe it.
I understand. So it is going to be a false start against, or a procedure penalty against the Rose-Hulman team. That's going to back them up 5 yards. And Not sure why the stick moved back that far.
I don't.
I think it was a 7-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they move it back. So it's going to be 3rd and 5 now after the penalty.
It could be. Or they're going to maybe run these guys off and hit White on a little flare, which has been a popular play for him.
There's a snap.
That will not be.
Dion looks to the left, throws a slant inside. That's going to be good for a first down.
Yes, it is.
Down to about the 3-yard line, and
number 9.
Pass complete to number 9, T.J. Ballard.
4:14 to go. First half. Rose-Hulman looking to cut this to a 27-14 lead, or 15 lead for the Lions.
Bill didn't want to do the subtraction.
Yeah. All right, so Dion gets the snap. You give this to White. White up the middle, and it's going to be a touchdown. So Rose-Hulman puts the cap on a big, long, nice drive with 3:55 to go here in the second quarter. Your score now, Mount St. Joe 27, Rose-Hulman 15. Rose-Hulman set to kick the PAT.
So since we always have these odd scores, Chuck, 1 or 2 here?
1.
Okay.
Since they're going for 1.
That could be a fake, though.
Could be. So Clark now in to attempt the PAT. Better snap this time. Holder gets it down, and Clark bangs it through. So now again, your score 3:55 to go here in the half. 27-16. Lions on top.
Okay, so let's see how the Lions respond, Chuck. Will they? We know they won't be slowing things down, so.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not sure that's in their repertoire.
No, I don't think it
is. Or vocabulary.
And, they had a nice, comfortable lead. I think there's going to be that urgency to go down, put the ball in there again, and then see whatever time's left if Rose-Hulman can move the ball.
I think that's exactly right.
And as long as they can keep on applying that pressure. But, Chuck, we some of the keys we talked about, Rose-Hulman is checking some of those boxes here, and it's why they're in a competitive game.
Yeah, that's right. They that last drive was a perfect example of what we talked about.
Yep.
Used a little bit of clock and kept Mount St. Joe off the field. The problem is they're already down by a couple scores.
Yeah.
They need to crawl back in this one first, and then
just not quite sure that they have the number of explosive players that Mount St. Joe has, because
I'll tell you, I'm not sure a lot of teams have the number of explosive players these Lions have,
because they have so many ways to get the ball in the end zone.
All right, so it looks like Brett Tuttle will be kicking off here, and
the Lions will get it about the 4-yard line. Speakman takes it to the middle of the field, over the 20, back out 25, 30.
Boy, Speakman with another nice big chunk return there, Bill.
And the one thing with Speakman is it's almost like you might as well just give him the ball on the 35-yard line, because at minimum, that's where the ball's going to be.
Yeah, that's right. That's almost exactly where it is this time, isn't it?
Yep.
In fact, I think it is exactly on the 35.
Yep. So nice return by Troy Speakman. Just phenomenal return player for Mount St. Joseph, and he's only a sophomore, Chuck. So
yeah, he is.
He's going to be here for a few more years. 2-by-2 set for Tomlin. He's got screens it out to Newman, and
incomplete.
And you got to cover that up, because you're not sure how the officials are going to call that. Whether it be a lateral, there you go, Chuck. Had to throw it in there.
I caught that.
Or is that just a flare pass? Okay. And so we've got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tomlin looks it over. And in these situations, Chuck, it's almost like they're trying to get a one-on-one ISO here.
Yeah, that's right. And complete. Nice throw and catch.
Yeah, and they get it to Gleans again, and Gleans is up over the 50-yard line into Fighting Engineer territory at the 47.
And I'll tell you, Bill, Gleans didn't have to break stride. I mean,
yeah, he let him
put it right on the money there.
Sure did. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tomlin in the gun with Newman to his right. And really, Chuck, still not a lot of Colby Newman, but now Newman moves over to his left.
I don't think that's Newman.
That
Bill.
isn't Newman. That's number 26. That's Ryan Bagnoli.
Okay.
Bagnoli motions to his right, and they get a little jet to Pankey.
And complete. Pankey's able to pick up a few yards on that. Going to make it now second, and we'll call it a long three, maybe. Yeah, we'll call it 2nd and 3 now.
Yeah. And Pankey was, like we said in the first game we were out here, Pankey was the big target, but they've been kind of quiet today, just like Newman. But that doesn't mean they couldn't explode here any time.
That's right. They've just been taking turns.
Yeah. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Newman takes on the linebacker. And a nice toss. And that's number 4, A.J. Gleans.
Boy, and I'll tell you, not even close, Bill.
No.
Not even close. I mean, he had a step and he had several steps actually right there. I believe, Bill, is that Glean's 3rd touchdown catch in the first half?
Yeah, and of course, we talk about chunk plays. It's another chunk play, and
boy, you're not kidding.
And I'll tell you what, the thing about was impressive is Gleans tracked that ball in. That was a what they call a wrong shoulder throw.
Yeah, it was, but you're right. He did a nice job tracking the ball and was able to haul it in.
Yep. So Jerry Porter out to attempt another extra point at 33-16 here. No 2 points. Well, you never know. We'll see how that works.
But snap is up, the kick is up, and
good.
It is good. So with 2:26 to go in the first half, fans, your score is Mount St. Joe 34, Rose-Hulman 16.
So we will see if Rose-Hulman can answer, and this is the battle for them, is they're going to have to answer every time Mount St. Joe scores now if they want to even stay with them.
All right, so again, like we said, short time now for the Engineers. They're going to have to really move the ball down the field if they want to try to punch one in here before the end of the half.
Porter will be kicking off for the Lions. So a lot of players have been getting in the game, as Chuck alluded to. The heat today probably dictates that you want to get a lot of fresh bodies out there.
Yeah, it's pretty intense out there.
Yep. And it's the same for both teams. Rose-Hulman, obviously, with their travel squad, doesn't have the depth. So their kids could get worn down by this heat by the second half.
Yeah, and I'll tell you,
that ball goes out of bounds.
Might get a little worn down by the scoreboard, too. So.
Well, that's happening.
Yeah, so, again, kick goes out of bounds, and that will be a penalty. So the ball will be brought upfield and be placed at the 35-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the Fighting Engineers will take over 1st and 10 with 2:26 to go here in the second quarter.
It's kind of like a Troy Speakman return.
Almost.
35-yard line.
That's right.
Okay, so the Lions are ready to go here. Looks like they have their regular unit on the field right now, all the number 1s. And they're going to probably try to shut the door here.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to give up anything here to Rose-Hulman to end the half. So, okay, tight end in motion. The give is to White up the middle, and White swarmed by the Lion defense.
Tavon Robertson.
I'll tell you, he gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be about it. They might give him a yard, but it's going to be second and a long way now for the Rose-Hulman Engineers.
Robertson assisted by middle linebacker Sean Sullivan. And we've heard a lot of Robertson and Sullivan's name today because they have been patrolling that middle.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Ooh, nice block.
Oh, complete over the middle.
Oh, upended by Sean Sullivan, the Rose-Hulman receiver, number 8.
And it looks like
and
get right to the line and reset now. And
good enough for a first down, Chuck.
Yes,
but we're under 2 minutes.
That's right. But, again, Rose-Hulman with a couple timeouts left, so they got plenty of time now. There's a snap. Dion with
White.
A give to White. White over the right side. White keeps his legs going, but he runs into a wall.
Number 33, Julius Phillips, sticks him right there.
Did, so.
With a little assist by Gavin Edmondson. I think Gavin was underneath on that.
Okay, 4-yard pickup now. 2nd and 6 for the Fighting Engineers. Dion Gets the snap.
Pressure coming.
Back.
Both middle linebackers.
Over the middle. Oh.
Oh.
Intended for number 9. That is T.J. Ballard, but it falls harmlessly incomplete.
And another breakup by Tavon Robertson, Chuck.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I think that ball ended up a little bit behind T.J. He just wasn't able to adjust to it because of the coverage. And
Robertson just wanted to let him know he's there.
That's right. He definitely did.
Yep.
Made his presence well known. So 3rd and 6 now for the Engineers. And what's a big third down here if they want to try to convert here before the end of the half. But again, Rose-Hulman does have the ball to start the second half. So if they were able to get to double up here, as they say, that would be great for them. Get back in this game. So
little pressure package.
There you go. A little slant complete to Noah Thomas up to about the 42-yard line. And that's going to be another first down. The clock's going to stop as they reset the chains here.
Speakman drags him down for the Lions.
Rose-Hulman right to the line, waiting for the ready to play signal here by the official.
3-man rush.
There's a snap and
by Mount St. Joseph. They go
Dion
deep.
down the right sideline and nice catch. Yes. Noah Thomas stretches out for it, and that is a touchdown.
That is a 42-yard pitch and catch by Rose-Hulman.
Well, I tell you, Dion just threw a dime right there, and again, like I said, Noah Thomas, great job stretching, laying out there to get that pass and put Rose-Hulman back in this ball game. So again, with under a minute to go, so just 46 seconds left. Mount St. Joe now leads 34-22, but again,
plenty of time, Chuck.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to leave Mount St. Joseph about 6.6 seconds not to have enough time.
Take about 40 of those off there, and they'd still be all right, wouldn't they?
Yeah, probably would.
So there's the snap. The kick is up, and it is good. So again, with 46 seconds, your score: Mount St. Joe 34, Rose-Hulman 24.
So Rose-Hulman offense has come to life, putting 23 points on the board. But, Chuck, they're going to have to
23. I said 24.
They're going to have to address the fact that they don't want Speakman to get a big return. And then, you expect the Lions to come out and pitch the ball down the field 3 or 4 times. And
they've had a lot of success doing that tonight. Again, Rose-Hulman has got to do a better job not letting these receivers behind them, because Mount St. Joe's shown a propensity to do that today, and they've made it count almost every time.
It's just the chunk plays, like we've alluded to, that if they can't stop those chunk plays, it doesn't matter how many points they score, they're never going to get back into this game.
That's exactly right. So Rose-Hulman set the kickoff now, and again, your kicker for kickoffs is number 16, Brett Tuttle.
And Tuttle gets ready.
There's the kick.
And it looks like it's going to be
on about the 4-yard line. Pankey brings it up the middle.
Over to 20. Out over to 25.
And finally runs into a wall of Rose-Hulman covermen, and it's going to be stopped at about the 26, 27-yard line. And we've got a little flag after the play. It looks like a little frustration coming out now from one or both of these teams. And
Rose-Hulman, of course, is pointing over to Mount St. Joseph, but
I wouldn't be surprised if Mount St. Joe points at Rose-Hulman. Right
it's been known to do that.
Yeah, so
we'll
the ball's
see.
Currently marked to the 22, but again, we do have a penalty forthcoming here.
It's not on me.
It's going to be against the Mount.
It's going to be offsetting, I believe.
And it is, so.
You always wonder why they even waste time to do that,
Well, you just want to make them aware that they're watching.
Other than the fact that if they get a second one, of course they can be ejected from the game.
Yeah. Okay, so after the offsetting penalties, the ball, is marked at the 25.
So a little ace formation here.
Or 27 to be more exact.
Yeah, it's just going to be a trips to the left.
3-by-1 look.
Yep. Receiver to the top of the screen. And Tomlin.
Mount St. Joe's going to take a timeout here.
And they didn't like what they saw, so they're going to. And Ryan Bagnoli is in for Colby Newman. And so a little break for Newman. And so.
Yeah, we've seen Newman out on a couple series now. Bagnoli getting some time as well.
Coach Hopperton wants to meet with the troops here with 37.8 seconds to go and, talk it over, see what their thinking is. And, a lot of times coach will, in these situations, get the feel from the team. Says, what is your, what do you feel right here? What do you think we can get them on here quickly? Of course, there'd be so much to pick from right now.
Yeah, that's right. But I'll tell you what, Mount St. Joe, the last thing they want to do here is make a careless or silly mistake and give up a turnover here and let Rose-Hulman sneak another one in there before the half. Because, again, with Rose-Hulman getting the opening kickoff of the second half, that potentially could put them up in this game.
Sure could. So we've got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And we've got Bagnoli to the left of Tomlin. And Bagnoli with the ball. He's over to 30, 35, bowls his way up to the 39.
Yeah, I'll tell you, nice job by Bagnoli. Finally knocked down by number 27, Alex Perez, but not before he gets the ball up almost to the 40-yard line.
2 plays were called, and they're getting ready to go here as we're under 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. Newman gets ready. Bagnoli moves to his right. We've got 2 receivers.
Got a pause for a defensive substitution now.
We've got 3 receivers to the right with a tight end.
Finally, they're going to need a timeout.
Well, yeah.
Stoppage of play. And I'll tell you, I think what happened was Newman came on the field. I think he thought Bagnoli needed a breather, and then he came back off. But because of that substitution, they had to stop and let Rose-Hulman also sub. And because of that, it led to a long wait, and the clock just continued to run. So now finally with 11 seconds to go, they finally stop it. But we're going to have some discussion here about the goings-on there.
Once again, we want to remind everybody that we'll be taking a break at halftime to see if we can get these cameras linked up. But since we weren't able to do that between the quarters, we'll do it at halftime. So we'll be off, probably 5 minutes at the most.
Okay. And then Thomas Pash, who is here with us today. And Thomas will be running down the halftime stats as soon as we get back on.
All right, so 11 minutes to go now. And, again, your score, Mount St. Joe 34, Rose-Hulman 23. But, again,
and
they are going to add some time back on the clock here, Bill.
Yeah, I was going to say you should because, that was a function of some poor – I'm not going to say poor officiating, but poor management of the field situation there.
Well, again, Rose-Hulman has to be given that opportunity to sub if Mount St. Joe's does. And so
but the thing is, Newman never really came. I mean, he came onto the field, but there was no sub that actually occurred.
But when he comes in past the numbers, that still, is going to constitute a switch from the other team. So
they decided to try to get him in.
Yep. But again, so ball whistled ready for play now, and so with 32 seconds left.
So Tomlin with Bagnoli to his left, 2 receivers to the right, and Bagnoli again. And it looks like that. I think Mount St. Joe is just going to be content right now to just run it out.
Looks like it.
I'd say so. So, again, clock continues to run now down just about 15 seconds ago. And, they're not going to make any attempt to make another play. So, with 10 seconds to go, your halftime score now, Mount St. Joe Lions 34, Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers 23.
And we'll see in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll take some time here and see if we can get these cameras back up.
Disappoint.
I don't think it's ever stopped the live. I paused the live, but I think that it has to be totally shut down. So we got a minute. I don't know if I want to shut the whole broadcast down and try to pick it up. All right. You want to work the camera?
I don't know. I don't want to mess it up.
You can't mess it up. You want to work this camera? You ready, Buffalo? Follow the action. I'll have you run the main camera. I think that the reason is, I think I paused, I shut down the recording and I paused the live, but I didn't stop the live because I don't want to have to redo the website. So we're going to be on one camera. I'm going to have her run the camera up here. You just go ahead and eat. Yeah, you go get the stuff. And you have to go to the other one and get the other one filled. All right? one of two things. It's the fact that, and we've had this since they're all operating on the same 2.4 and 5 gigahertz bandwidth, that with all the
So just follow the ball, right?
just follow the action. Don't let him fool you now. You know, if he's we want to make sure since you're getting paid big bucks in the morning.
Are we back, Rick?
Yeah, the game got started.
Okay, so we're ready to start off the second half. Rose-Hulman receiving the kick from Jerry Porter of the Lions. And my colleague Chuck Hale will be taking over for Rose-Hulman here.
All right, so again, two wide receivers to the top, one to the bottom, and the give is to White off the right side, and White gets back up to about the line of scrimmage, but that's it before he's knocked back. So we'll call it a gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 9 now coming up for the Engineers.
I'll tell you what, when Tavon Robertson gets there, buddy, he brings the hammer.
Yes, he does. So again, 2nd and 9 now for the Engineers. 3 wide receiver set, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom of the formation. White lined up to the left. The snap. The give is to White. White up the middle. White bounces to the left. Now cuts it back to the middle. And he's going to be close to the first down. Gain of about 7. Going to make it now 3rd and 1 for the Engineers.
Okay, so that was Robertson again on the tackle. Busy man here, Chuck. And Tremont Red also chipping in on that hit.
Yeah, he's been very active. So there's the snap. And the give is to White again, 3rd time in a row. 3rd time's a charm here as he picks up a first down up to about the 42-yard line. That's where it's going to be 1st and 10 again for the Engineers from their own 42-yard line.
Julius Fisher with the stop for the Lions. And they have been able, Rose-Hulman's been able to control the center of the line here, Chuck, and I think that's creating some lanes for White to be able to get through.
Yeah, that's right. This second half's been a little different story so far. But again, just 13:41 left here in the second half, or the third quarter, excuse me. 3rd on the left side. Oh, looks like that was a catch. And yes, it was a catch by number 8, Noah Thomas. And again, Thomas able to catch it and then tap a foot before he goes out of bounds.
And Tremont Red on the coverage, and he got away from him.
Yeah, he did. I'll tell you, nice throw by there by Dion, putting it right where it had to be. So there's a snap, the give to White this time up the middle again, and this time White's going to pick up about almost 4 yards, maybe we'll call it 3.5. So that's going to make it 2nd and 7 now.
And that's big number 98, Zach Taylor, on the stop with a host of other Lions.
3 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top now. There's the snap. Dion looks to the left,
a little pressure.
Keeps rolling, now throws it up. And again, intended for Noah Thomas, but he overthrows him, and it's going to be picked off by the Lions.
So I'm not sure what that's going to be, Chuck, but it's either going to be defensive holding or pass interference.
So it's probably going to negate the turnover, whichever it is.
Yeah, it is, because it was Tyler Hanna had a handful of jersey, and I think we're going to get holding. We should get holding, actually, but I don't know.
Hanna with a handa?
Yes, Hanna with a handa. I like where you went with that, Chuck.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so wait for the penalty to be assessed here, and let's see what we get. And so it is going to be 1st down, Engineers.
So they're getting ready to mark this off on the side. And we will. Okay. So
all right, so it's going to bring it down to the 17-yard line, and that's where it'll now be 1st and 10 for the Engineers, knocking on the door here as we begin the second half.
It's never good to see the back of the DB trailing the receiver.
Not a good sign, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, so now a man in motion across the formation. The give is to White up the middle. White able to put his head down and barrel forward for about 3 yards. Going to make it now 2nd and 7 for the Engineers.
And getting off.
Down almost to the 15-yard line. Actually, we'll call it 2nd and 8.
And that's Gavin Edmondson in on that stop.
All right, so 2 receivers to the top now. And the give again is to White. White up the middle. And White able to pick up about 4 yards. Going to make it now 3rd and 3, 3rd and 3.5 now.
And that was
actually a little longer than that. I guess
Edmondson and
just
Taylor.
the spot. It's now about 3rd and 5. So
Edmondson and Taylor on the stop for the Lions on that play.
all right, Dion looks to the sideline for the play. Now gets what he wants, turns back towards the line. Gives the signal. Mount St. Joe showing blitz.
Bringing
There's
pressure.
the snap, and they're coming. Dumps it over the middle, intended for number 11. Number 11, Bryce Dobbs, the tight end, but falls harmlessly incomplete. And again, a lot of pressure there by the Lions.
Nice breakup by Gavin Edmondson of the Lions, too.
So now with 4th and 5, that's going to bring the field goal kicker onto the team, and
Could cut
the
it to it.
Engineers are going to try to cut the lead down a little bit here, cut it to 8.
And a touchdown and 2-point conversion, and so they're within a score of tying the game now, Chuck.
Pending this
Well,
kick.
if they make it. If they make it.
There's a snap, a little high, but he gets it down, and the kick is up, and it is no good.
So,
And I'll tell you, I don't know if maybe that got touched somewhere along
Yeah,
the line, but
it-
it didn't seem to come off his leg very strong there.
no, and I think there was a little deflection on it, but nevertheless, the Lions dodge a bullet there.
That's right. So they're going to bring the ball up to the point where it was kicked. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 Lions from right about the 20-yard line.
And a huge drive now, or a huge possession for the Lions, because if they score, Rose-Hulman is back in the same hole they were in the first half.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll tell you, it seemed like the first quarter, Mount St. Joe's was going to come out and just run away with this game. But really, in the last 5 minutes of the first half, the Engineers really got themselves back in this ball game. But you're right, the Lions are going to look to get it back to the status quo.
Twins to the left, tight end, flanker to the right. We've got Tomlin.
Oh, and a blitz coming up the middle.
Gives the ball off to Newman, and nothing doing there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, nice job there, number 45, the inside linebacker, Colson Carmel. And again, timed his blitz really well there and
Newman
was able to get in and drag down Newman in the backfield.
He got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but it was an effort just to do that.
It was. Yeah, the offensive line has to do a better job maintaining contact and driving the feet there, and that didn't happen.
No, it didn't. So
Tomlin drops. He looks. He's rolling. Steps up. We got a flag, and I think that's incomplete. That ball bounced, but I think
I think we had a holding before that ever happened.
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
not going to matter. But
number 30, Mike Riley, applying the pressure there. But
the Rose-Hulman guy had it called right away on that, and correctly so, because I thought that it bounced on the ground, and I think the official was. It appeared that he was going to rule it a catch.
Yeah, but again, it would have all been for naught because of the penalty anyway. But
this is true. So 3rd and 10. No,
it's not going to be. And it looks like, Rose-Hulman declined that, so it is going to be 3rd and 10 now.
And a good move on their behalf, because we talked about 3 and outs being a key component.
Yeah, that's right. And in this field position, 10 yards is not going to be that much of a benefit. So,
well, not with the chunk ability of the blue or the Lions like that.
Right.
And Tomlin drops. He looks under pressure, and he's met by big number 99.
Yeah, finally brought down and sacked, and give half a sack to big number 99, Griffin Steffi.
And 52, I believe, is the other one that was on that
I think
check.
you're right. 52 was the other one, and that's Jack Heil. So they combine for a sack, and again, they end up knocking back the Lions a little bit further.
Yes, indeed. So another punting situation, which we don't see Mount St. Joseph in very often. But
a punt right off the goal line here. So
yep, Jerry Porter in punt position for the Lions in his end zone, and a little pressure.
Yeah, but
nice
gets it off.
kick.
And,
driving
fair catch at the 42-yard line is number 15, and that is Caleb Brown. So that's where the Engineers will start, 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line.
So, a nice kick, fair catch, ball's in good field position. Rose-Hulman is about 6 yards from Mount territory, so again, they showed some life that last drive and missed a field goal, but they've got great field position and can make this a real interesting game.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see if they're able to do that. All right, so
We got
not a penalty on the play, but it's going to be declined. So the ball will remain there on the 44-yard line.
yeah. Porter averages 41 yards a kick, and I believe that was a little over his average. So, why tempt fate and have him kick it again and maybe go 20 yards instead?
Yeah, I think they'll take it. So the Engineer offense coming onto the field now, again led by number 2, Andrew Dion, a 6'2 sophomore from San Diego, California.
San Diego's a nice town.
I'm sure it is. Never been there. I've heard it's very nice.
You should go sometime, Chuck.
There's the snap to give to White up the middle, and White, after some hesitation there because of the penetration, able to get back just about to the line of scrimmage.
Corey Harden on the stop, and it looks
White
like
now looks like he's a little banged up. He's gonna.
And we have not. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chuck, but I don't think we've seen another runner in here besides White.
Yeah, we've seen just a little bit of Maxwell Hatch, number 22, and
Okay.
I imagine we'll get another look at Mr. Hatch here coming up here as
Looks like a cramp.
as White. Yeah, getting stretched out on the field, and again we talked about the heat today, and obviously that's going to be a factor as the game goes on, and I imagine this probably won't be the first cramp we'll see in the second half.
No. So 10:40 to go in the third quarter, 34-23 in favor of Mount St. Joseph, and.
White back to his feet, and again.
Yeah, he doesn't appear to be too banged up on that.
Yeah,
so
he's actually going to jog off now, so good sign there for Mr. White.
Need some pickle juice.
That's right.
So, so here we go.
All right, and it is going to be number 22, Maxwell Hatch, the 5'9 sophomore from St. Charles, Illinois, now in the game for White. So 3-by-1 look now. 3 receivers to the top. Dion gets the snap. Looks to his. Now he's going to throw to the middle.
Ooh.
Oh, intended for number 4. That's Jake Zimmerman. But a little bit in front, and Zimmerman not able to haul that in. It's going to fall harmlessly incomplete. Now it's going to make it third and about 9.5 to go for the Fighting Engineers offense.
Pretty good coverage by Speakman. He was right on the shoulder. Had that been caught, they would have got a gain out of it, but he wouldn't have went very far, I don't believe.
No, I think you're right. He might have got another yard at the most.
Yeah.
So, okay, Dion now looks for the snap, and then he gets it,
Three-man rush
drops
for the
back.
Lions.
Screen, and Hatch catches it. He's got blockers out in front. Hatch going to take it up to right to the 45-yard line, and that's going to be good enough for an Engineers first down.
Yeah.
So now they move the ball into Lion territory. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the Lion 45-yard line.
And Rose-Hulman, since early in the second quarter, has done a nice job with play selection and been able to take advantage of the hard rushing Lion defense.
Yeah, they really have. So there's the snap now.
Oh, but not this time.
Nope, not this time. So
And that's going to be
Again,
big
Hatch.
number 97 for the Lions.
yeah, that's right. Hatch with the run tried to bounce it to the left side, but he's drugged down in the backfield. And
Logan Bright on the tackle.
okay, now they're going to split Hatch wide. We're going to go into a 5-wide look here for the Fighting Engineers from their own, from the Lion 47-yard line.
And it looks like Mount will bring some pressure on this.
Dion gets the snap. It's
And
a
they
draw
bring-
up the middle. Dion back up to about the original line of scrimmage, the 45, and that'll be it.
Sean Sullivan on the stop.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 now for the Fighting Engineers.
So Dion.
And again, they're going to split out Hatch to the far side. So now still another 5 wide receiver look here, Bill, is
And
3rd and 10.
We usually see some pressure coming from one of the linebackers in these situations when they're empty.
Yeah, it looks like they may be playing a cover here, though, Bill.
Yeah, it
Not a lot
looks-
of pressure
yeah,
coming.
so they're bringing just a 4-man rush.
Oh, and the throw.
Oh.
Dion throws over the middle, and I'll tell you, it looked like number 11, Bryce Dobbs, had a perfect opportunity to make the catch, but just couldn't haul it in. I think he might have heard some footsteps there behind him. So pass falls harmlessly incomplete on 3rd and 10. So
Coverage.
4th and 10 now. The punting unit comes onto the field for the Engineers.
Coverage provided by number 12, Peyton Williams, for the Lions. And was right there, but you never know on those, Chuck.
That's right. So, again, number 20, Seth Knoll, into punt.
And Troy Speakman back deep for the Lions.
No pressure. Knoll gets off a high kick.
And
It's just inside the 20-yard line. Takes a nice roll for the Engineers and then dives at right about the 16 where it'll be touched down. And that's where the Lions will take over 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line.
You know, Chuck, with the new rule coming in back into the game here with the ball coming out to the 25 on that fair catch.
Not on a punt, though.
I would expect what you're going to see is we may see the recreation of coffin kicks too, to kind of defeat the positioning of the football, which in essence still accomplishes getting rid of returns.
Right.
But okay, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tomlin with Newman back to his right. He's talking about where he feels the pressure's coming from, and he moves Newman over to that side. And there's the give to Newman. Newman's up out to the 20-yard line. It's about his best run today, Chuck.
Yeah, it really is. And I'll tell you, finally gang tackled there by the Engineers, but not before he's able to pick up about almost 5 yards and put him in 2nd and 6 now for the Lions.
So,
and just over 8 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
And so Newman looks it over. He's got a tight end down to the left of the screen and 2 receivers up to the right. Tomlin drops, and he's got who else but Gleans, but Gleans isn't able to haul it in. So
yeah, I'll tell you, that was a little high. Gleans had to go up and get it, and Alex Perez also went up to get it, and it was able to knock Gleans off track there.
I think Tomlin floated a little bit too.
I do too.
If he'd have put a little more zip on that, I think that was a sure completion.
Yeah, he didn't seem to step into it the way he wanted to, and under some pressure there. So I think you're right. So again, 3rd and 6 now for the Lions as they look to convert here, keep this drive going.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tomlin in the gun with Newman off to his right. Newman flares, gets to Pankey, and Pankey's on Pankey's up over to 25. Out to
I think
26.
that's going to be a first down, Bill, and it is.
Yep.
So nice job converting there by the Lions. Looks like Rose-Hulman had them at a 3rd and long, but able to convert with the screen.
And if Rose is going to give you that soft coverage, those little screens can be very effective against that. So we got 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Tight end to the right. And Newman to the right of Tomlin. Tomlin gets the ball, and he gives it to Newman again, and Newman pops through for about a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Newman hit the hole hard, but then ran right into 45 Colson Carmel, who's just patrolling the middle for these Engineers.
Yeah, the offensive line is not getting the second level very effectively today.
No, I'll tell you, you're exactly right, and I don't know if that's due to this Rose-Hulman D-line holding him up, but
Could be.
You're right, these linebackers have been free, and Carmel's made a lot of plays today.
Sure has. So 2 receivers to each side, and Tomlin gets ready, calls for the ball, takes a drop, and it looks like a chunk play. And he's got Gleans. Oh, no, this is Roberts, and Grayson Roberts takes it the full 65 yards, Chuck.
I'll tell you, he's able to get behind number 14, John Kirby, and again, like we talked about, they just have been able to get over the top on these Rose-Hulman DBs all day.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's Roberts' 3rd touchdown reception of the day.
There you go. So Gleans had 3 in the first half, and now Roberts is matching with 3.
Yes, he has. So they're maybe they got a bet on or something going here, Chuck. But okay, Porter out for the extra point, and just what Rose-Hulman didn't need to happen happened. So Porter gets ready, he kicks, and it's through.
That's good.
So it's 41-23 with 6:48 to go in the third quarter. And so Chuck, Rose-Hulman, I would say, in this early in the third quarter, you don't want to say must score situations, but with the potency.
Well, I think given the score, Bill, that Rose-Hulman's going to have to score every time they touch the football the rest of the game.
And they've got to get some
get in this. That's exactly right. So, again, 6:48 to go here in the third quarter, and they're down by 18. So, turning into a long afternoon for Rose-Hulman. who,
Yeah.
give them credit, had done a valiant job scratching back in this game.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And,
the way the game started, Chuck, we were thinking it was not going to be competitive, but
Yeah, that's right. But, we did talk about that, this Rose-Hulman defense is averaging, giving up almost 50 points a game, and I believe they've only scored 18 points on the season, so they've already bettered that in today's game. So,
yeah.
some things, they can hang their hat on, but they've got a ways to go to get back in this one.
Yeah. And they, Rose-Hulman is one of the, picked to finish second in the league this year, so we know that they're a solid football program. Porter drives the ball deep to, it bounces at about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I'll tell you, signal fair catch, but lost it. But and I'm not sure what the ruling is here. I guess they're going to give that as a fair catch.
So they're going to treat it like the end zone, I guess, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, he signaled fair catch, but then didn't catch it. So
if you fair catch it in the end zone, so why you would do
and
that?
I'm sure they'll bring it out to the 25. But
right.
that's an interesting situation. I don't know how that should be ruled. I guess we're going to see how it's going to be enforced right here.
The brave new world of football, right?
That's right. Different game than the one we grew up with.
Yes. Can't say
Some instances.
Yeah.
But, okay, so 1st and 10 now for the Engineers. They're going to get the ball at their own 25-yard line. Again, led onto the field by Andrew Dion and Maxwell Hatch still the backfield. We've got to see White come back since he was taken off with what we believe was a cramp. So little jet sweep around the right side now for number 10. That's Caden Weddle. I'm sorry, that's Adam Sturgeon, but Sturgeon hit almost immediately after he gets around the outside edge. He's going to gain 3, but that's going to be it right there. So 2nd and 7 now for the Rose-Hulman offense.
That was a crime-on sweeper incident there, and that was Sean Sullivan and Julius Fisher.
All right, so Dion drops back, looks to his left side, throws.
Oh,
it's going to be intercepted.
Gavin Edmondson for the Lions.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Edmondson seemed to read that all the way.
He
and,
sure did.
Dion never really gave his receiver a chance on that. He just underthrown, and Edmondson with a nice job, just able to step right in front of it.
There's a quick passing game, and then sometimes you got to be a little bit more patient with that throw, and I think he threw it too early.
Yeah, like I said, I think he really just underthrew it.
Right.
He never gave his receiver a chance to make a play on the ball at all.
Which allowed Edmonds to react on it.
Right.
Now, so at the 36-yard line, Chuck, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the end zone right here.
Quick strike right here, Bill. I'm
Turnovers, the old Pittsburgh Steeler philosophy,
Yep.
go for them while they're down, and I think you might see that here. So a 3-by-1 set, 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top, and we've got Newman to the right of Tomlin. Tomlin gets the snap, and just like we thought, but no, Tomlin steps
up the middle,
and he's going to, he's free at the 30, up to the 28.
Yeah, Chayton showing his legs there.
A little nifty footwork, and he's going to have a 2nd and short. And, of course, as we've talked about many times, this is just dial up any play you want in a 2nd and short situation.
Yeah, that's right.
So we've got 2 receivers on each side. Tomlin puts Williams to his left, looks over to defense, gets ready to call for the ball. There's the snap, and he drops, and he looks, and in the middle of the field, a wide open, who else? A.J. Gleams.
Yeah, I'll tell you, nice job there by the offense. They picked up the Rose-Hulman blitz, and that blitzer left the middle of the zone wide open there. And
Gleams replaced the
nice job by Gleams, right there to sit down in that hole and occupy the zone.
All right. Bill, do we know anything about Cardinal Stritch?
Yes, we know a lot about Cardinal Stritch.
It's where she went to school.
Oh, really? I wasn't teaching there when she was there, though.
I seriously doubt that. She's a freshman here at Mount St. Joseph.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is a few years after me.
All right,
okay,
so
Tomlin
1st and 10.
With the drop. He looks. Oh, and Tomlin's going to take. No. Nice job by Tomlin. Gets
Yeah,
it
it really
Roberts.
was. And I'll tell you, nice job, like you said, by Chayton Tomlin to have the patience there to sit down and find the receiver, and he did. And I'll tell you, that's going to make it 1st and goal now for these Lions. And they're knocking on the door once again.
And Grayson Roberts had another opportunity for another touchdown there, but
I'm sure he's kicking himself right now.
Yeah, caught the ball at the 3. And, what Tomlin did, and we saw him do this in the first game, he runs almost up to the line of scrimmage, causing the defense to pause
Yeah,
for a
sucks
second.
up that defense. Yeah,
and
exactly.
he hits a dart.
All right, so first and goal now from the 4-yard line.
2 receivers to the left. Tomlin in the gun. And he's got Newman. He gives it to Newman. Newman bounces to his
bounces
right.
it.
He gets the corner and walks in.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Bill, he is so quick. Once he saw that edge, he just bounced it and took it, and they were not going to hang with him right there.
Little jump cut, and he's
right.
gone.
Yeah, nice job by the young freshman running back. So
So
that pushes your score now with 4:27 left in the game.
Yeah.
Mount St. Joe 47 and Rose-Hulman 23.
Yes, indeed.
It's become almost a blowout now, hasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it has. You know,
Yeah.
kind of the way we started.
Yeah.
And,
First, the second quarter, Rose-Hulman
came to life,
They
yeah.
got back into it, so we'll see what happens here.
So you're predicting fourth quarter
Oh!
fireworks?
was that another block?
Yes, it was another
Okay.
block, but it went into the end zone, so it can't be returned.
All right, so again, the Mount St. Joe's kicking woes continue. And, got to find a way to dress that up a little bit. So again, 4:27, your score, Mount St. Joe 47, Rose-Hulman 23. And these Mount St. Joe fans are relishing this big lead over their rival.
Their arch rival, and I agree. And Rose-Hulman's takeaway is they've been able to score some points, but they gave up 54 to Mount Union, the other Mount in the state, and then Rhodes, they gave up 43. So they're giving up a lot of points, Chuck, and maybe it isn't as much the offense as we thought. It's more that the defense is going to have to start stopping some people.
Yeah, I think you're right. Again, the offense has to do a better job of keeping the other teams off the field. But,
Right.
yeah, obviously the defense continues to be an issue for these Fighting Engineers.
Yeah. And for...
All right, so deep this time for the Engineers is Maxwell Hatch. And, Bill, can you tell who the near receiver is? Can't get a number out of
Porter's kick goes down to
It'll be Farrakhan there, and I believe, is that White?
Yep,
it is.
it is
So
White.
White back in now. Fair catches it inside the 10, but again, that'll come out to the 25-yard line. So again, for the second drive in a row, that's where these Rose-Hulman Engineers will take over. And let's see if they can't get a better result this time.
And
after
I'm
throwing a
looking
quick interception there on their last drive.
I think White's coming back, though, Chuck. I saw him walking back to the back of the sideline over there, standing next to the lineman. So,
okay, so
he must be hurting a little bit more than we suspected.
Well, yeah, but you think you bring him out for the kick, he's got to be okay. And it may be just that they're getting Maxwell Hatch some work here because,
right.
Again, White, like we talked about, was definitely the workhorse in the first half. So they
Oh,
give this
Hatch.
to Hatch up
Oh,
the middle,
Hatch.
and Hatch with a nice little cut there. He's going to get a gain of about 6 yards. It's going to bring it now 2nd and 4 for the Engineers from across the 30-yard line.
And Hatch was brought down by Sullivan, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, but again, not after he picks up about 6 yards.
Yes.
There's the snap. Again, they give the Hatch. Hatch in the backfield and finally going to be drugged down for a loss. And that's going to knock them down to about the 27-yard line. So now it's going to make it 3rd and 7.
Julius Fisher came knifing in, which forced Hatch to cut back to his left. And who but Spencer Candra was waiting there to drag him down to the ground.
I'll tell you, you don't want to cut back into that, do you?
No, you do not.
All right, so Hatch remains the back, and now Dion eyes the defense, looks for the ball. There's a snap. Dion drops back, throws, complete to number 4. Oh, no, Zimmerman dropped it. And again,
And Tavon Robertson.
yeah, well, I'll tell you, Robinson with a nice hit there to separate Zimmerman from the
Robertson
football.
enjoys contact, Chuck.
Yeah, he does.
And the only thing I worried about there, and I was waiting to see if they're going to drop a flag, because I believed he led with the crown and the helmet on that one.
I'll tell you, he certainly lit up his back on that one.
Yeah, I did. And, a great hit.
Yeah, it was. That's right.
I'm not saying he should have been, but I'm saying I'm surprised there wasn't a conversation
That's right.
about it.
Bill from the Jack Tatum School of Defensive Back Play.
Absolutely.
So 4th and 6 now, and
you're gonna
kind of
see-
a low snap, but he's able to scoop it up.
And it's a bad punt.
Yeah, not the best punt
gonna
we've seen
punt.
today. And
But it gets a good bounce, though.
yeah, it does. We've seen a couple nice Rose-Hulman bounces today, and it's going to roll and be stopped
Where else but the
just
31?
outside the 31-yard line. So
It seems like every drive's either 35 or 31.
yeah, they haven't been inside of it very much,
No,
have they? That's for
they have
sure.
not.
So 3:11 left to play here in the third quarter, and again, the Mount up on top, 47, Rose-Hulman 23.
So here we go, 3-by-1 set. Chayton Tomlin with Colby Newman in the backfield. His full complement of starting receivers. 31-yard line. There's the snap. And a nice cutback again. Oh, I think the ball's loose.
Newman,
and I think it's Rose-Hulman.
Newman coughed it up, and the Rose-Hulman defense is able to recover. Looks like it might have been number 14, John Kirby, on the recovery there. So, again, big break here for the Engineers. Let's see if they can't turn that into some points here.
Newman tried a little jump cut, and the ball got ripped out of his hands. And Rose-Hulman was opportunistic enough to jump on it. And, these are the type of things, again, Chuck, that, not to belabor points that we pointed out, but they needed to get turnovers like this to be able to get back into this.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, though, I think they needed them before they were down by
they're gonna
24.
They're going to need a few more.
That's right. So, 4 wide receiver look, 3 to the top of the formation now, and Dion gets the ball, looks to the left side, now comes back to the right to the single receiver side.
Oh, nice job.
And we're going to have a pass interference call there on number 10.
Now, I'm going to tell you what, in the NFL, that would not have been
Ballard, but
that would not have been pass interference in the NFL.
Well, yeah, but I think.
But this is college, so.
Yeah, and it's a 24-point game, and there's a lot of factors at work here, I think. Not to say that again that really affects those calls, but.
Yeah. Troy Speakman was on the coverage, and what they were saying is he had his hand out, and his hand was in contact, but it did not influence the ball, and that's would be my argument, is that had nothing to do with interfering with the
but he's not allowed to touch him.
I know.
And I agree with you, Bill. We see that, and it wasn't like he had him armbarred.
No.
All right, so again, now we got a receiver jet motion across the field fake, and Dion's going to keep it himself up the middle. And
nice leg drive by Dion.
Yeah, Dion does show some nice leg drive, but really just not a lot of room there.
No.
Dion fortunate to pick up 3 yards, now going to make it 2nd and 7 from the 16-yard line for the Engineers.
And that's number 98 on the defensive line, Zach Taylor. Zach's got quite a few tackles today.
Yeah, he had Dion all fitted up there, didn't he?
Yeah, they did.
All right, so Dion looks to the left, throws, and the receiver's up, and I believe that's a touchdown.
I think it is a touchdown.
And it is. Touchdown, Rose-Hulman.
I don't know who the receiver was, Chuck, but he did a great job dragging the foot as he went down.
Let's see if we can't get a number.
It's number
there.
1.
Is it number 1? That would be Sawyer Young. So
yeah, that is Sawyer Young.
Sawyer Young, the 6'3" senior out of Hayward, Wisconsin.
And I think
with a nice catch there in the corner of the end zone. And I'll tell you, perfect opportunity there to use Young's height there, throw it up and let him go get it. And that's exactly what he did.
I don't know if Sawyer Young had 2 touchdowns last week.
There you go. So I'm sure he,
yeah, so
that'd be one of their leading targets then.
But we haven't seen a lot of them though.
No, we really haven't. And again, now the Engineers are going to go for 2 here. Young isolated up the top. Let's see, maybe we get a similar play here. So there's the snap. Dion rolls to his right, throws. They flood that side of the field, but it's going to fall harmlessly incomplete.
And who do you think broke that up there, Chuck?
I'm sure you're going to tell me, but I think I already know. That's right. So 2:17 to go here in the third. Your score now, Mount St. Joe 47. Rose-Hulman 29.
Seems like every team has a player like Tavon.
I'll tell you, if you don't, you sure want one.
Yeah, Tobias Haley for Urbana the other night has the same kind of presence in the secondary for the Blue Knights.
Yep.
And you need that kind of enforcer out there.
Yeah, that's right. You want some leadership out there that's going to own that second half of the field and feel that that's their real estate and the offense doesn't have any right to be there. And
yeah.
It's exactly what he's shown us tonight.
And, he's not afraid to step up in the box and make tackles, and he'll intimidate receivers. So nice job by Tavon.
I tell you, he's intimidating me in the box.
Chuck's ready to go home.
That's right.
So here we go.
All right, so number 16, again, that is Brett Tuttle, the 5'9" freshman from Jerseyville, Illinois, set to kick off here.
Yes, indeedy. 2:17 to go, third period, 47-29. Mount St. Joseph's Lions over the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers.
Tuttle's kick's going to be fielded right at about the 10-yard line.
Oh, and Speakman, 25, 30, 35. And that 36 or 37 is where he's going to stop. But
yeah, I'll tell you, Speakman with another nice return, Bill.
And Rose-Hulman wasn't tackling Speakman. They were tackling the football. That's why it took them so long to bring him to the ground.
Yeah, there at the end, you're right. But
Chuck, if you want to watch good football on Saturdays, what network can you go to see those games?
I usually watch Campus Nation on Saturday, Bill, but
yeah,
that's my home for my internet sports.
So, yes, right here on Campus Nation, game of the week. We're 3 weeks into the season, Chuck, and we've got a lot more football coming.
That's right.
Their
We've
way.
had a heck of a lot more than 3 games so far.
Well, we've had more than 3 games. That's
right.
for sure. We're averaging about 2 a week.
That's right. So, 1st and 10 now for the Lions.
And Chaitlin. Oh, and who else but A.J. Gleans. And Gleans has just been the man today.
Yeah, he has. But I'll tell you what, Bill, you want to keep an eye out for big number 80. Looks like he's coming off the field right now, but big number 80, that's Mahil Michaud, I believe. And he's a 6'5 junior and out of the Hughes Academy here in Cincinnati. And wouldn't be surprised. They've worked him in a little bit here. Let's see if he doesn't get some looks here in the 4th quarter.
Pankey motions from left to right into trips. Tomlin is out and running. He's up to the 40, over to 35, dives down to the 30-yard line of Rose-Hulman, and that's where he'll go out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Gleans had a really nice block there, Bill, to spring in there around the edge.
And that was set up by Tomlin because Tomlin was looking, and, that's that chemistry you get with players that played for a few years.
Right.
Is he knows that quarterback's going to go, and he sets up the block, and they did a nice job on that.
Yeah, he really did. I'll tell you, he really did. Okay, so that's going to make another first down now from about the 32-yard line.
3 receivers to the right for the Lions, 1 to the left. And Tomlin drops, and he looks, and there is, it's a stop and go by Pankey, and that's a touchdown for Pankey. A 31-yard touchdown pass.
I'll tell you, we mentioned it before, and again, these Rose-Hulman DBs biting on those moves and haunts them again, so another touchdown by the Lions.
I mean, Chuck, Pankey literally came to a dead stop and just stood there, and that's when the Rose-Hulman corner let up, and then Pankey took off and went.
That's the thing. If he's going to stop, what's the DB supposed to do? He's got to come up a little bit.
Yeah, he does. He does.
But, again, give Pankey credit. Nice individual effort there to get open.
I think they're going to call that back, Chuck. That's what it looks like.
Must have been a penalty.
It's either, I don't know what it is.
They're walking
Might
it back,
be holding.
So.
Let's see where it goes. No, it's 15 variety.
Yeah, so it looks like it's now.
I don't know what the call was.
He's going to make it first and about Walnut Hills now. He's got quite a ways to go.
1:04 to go. 3rd period. Mount St. Joseph 47, Rose-Hulman 29. Makes it first in Hamilton County.
I think you might be in Hamilton County.
Yeah.
All right, so another penalty there. It looked like it could be interference.
How about Warren County?
Yeah, okay.
So is this going to be interesting what they're going to do with this?
How about first and OTR there? I think that's that direction.
Okay.
So it's going to be declined.
Okay. I don't know if I'd have done that personally, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you, we got a long way to go here for this first down. So it's still first down, so they must have accepted something.
It's the chunk mentality, though, that Mount St. Joseph has.
They're going to need a couple to get this first down.
Yeah. That's about the average length of their,
well, they've definitely shown they can do it. That's right. So,
yeah. So 3-by-1 set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Tomlin with Newman, and actually that's Bagnoli's in, and that's Gleans, and Gleans picks up a good 11, 12 yards.
Yeah, Gleans, nice run after the catch there. Gleans showed his shiftiness and some good footwork there.
And Rose-Hulman can't play this too soft, or else they're going to give up a first down and defeat everything they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, that's right. They're just going to chunk them to death right here.
Yep.
So, right about 30 seconds now left in the 3rd quarter.
And the play clock has 20, so we'll have at least 2 plays here. Okay.
I bet 1.
You think 1?
Yeah. unless this is incomplete. And
and it's picked off.
Intercepted.
And he's got an open sideline, number 26.
Yeah, I'll tell you, nice job there by 26. That's Zach Phillips. And Phillips just, hanging out there. And, I don't think the quarterback ever saw him because Phillips didn't have to move much out of his zone right there to pick that one off.
And
thrown really right at him.
Believe that is the first interception we've seen Tomlin throw this year.
Yeah, and I think that's only the second turnover we've seen today by these Lions.
Yep.
After the fumble earlier by the very talented freshman running back, Colby Newman.
And, this is where you start to get worn down with the heat, and the length of the game starts to get to them. So,
that's right.
Mount St. Joe is going to have to fight through this. And I think it's White.
Off up the middle. I believe that is White, and he's going to get about, we'll call it, we'll be generous and give him 2 yards on that. So that's going to be the end of the third quarter now. So it'll be 2nd and 8 coming up. But again, with 15 to go, your score, the Mount 47, Rose-Hulman 29.
And you are listening to the Ohio College Game of the Week right here on Campus Nation. Follow us at www.campusnation.com.
That's right, and I'll tell you, this Mount St. Joe home crowd is fired up today, Bill.
They are. Well, beautiful day, Chuck, and, people sitting up in the shade over on the hill, and there's not a lot of seating left here in Schueler Stadium.
There's really not. Not an empty seat to be found, I don't think.
No.
And again, the traditional Sweet Caroline to start the fourth quarter here in Schueler Stadium.
I wonder if they have Neil Diamond night here or something.
I don't know. But, again, it is a common occurrence here.
Yeah.
And, so, again, we'll try to talk over the music and not let it be heard.
Yeah, we'll try to not let you know that they're
infringe on the copyright of somebody here. So we'll keep talking and try to cover it up. But, again,
there's a big game tonight in Texas, Chuck.
There is. How about that?
Yeah, some team from Ohio is going down there to play.
All the way to Texas?
All the way to Texas.
Wow.
AT&T Stadium.
Well, it's a good thing they're going to be led by their head coach.
Oh, not this week.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so 2nd and 7 now, and the give to White up the middle. And, again, White, common theme today. He puts his head down and barrels forward, but he's only going to pick up about another 1.5 yards, so that's going to make it now 3rd, and we'll call it a long 6 now for the Engineers.
And I'll bet you can't guess who made that tackle.
Why don't you go ahead and tell me?
Tavon Robertson again.
That's what I was going to guess. So, all right, 3 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top now. Again, 3rd and a long 6 now.
Roll out.
He looks, puts it up, and he's got a man open. Complete. Caught by number 11, the tight end, Bryce Dobbs. He's down the sideline, and Dobbs is going to turn this into a touchdown.
So Peyton Williams gives up on the ball. I think he thought he was out of bounds, Chuck.
Yeah, I think you're right, and Dobbs did a nice job there with some fancy footwork on the sideline. So that's going to push your score now 47-35 with 14-18 left in regulation.
And I would bet a 2-point conversion is on its way here.
What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet?
I guess I'll have to be wrong.
I already saw Clark on the field.
It's kind of like the bets down in Vegas right there.
Be careful. That's a soft spot right now.
This is a Bill Rayback special.
Yes.
All right, there's a snap.
They block it.
Another block kick. Third one of the day.
And that was wrestled to the ground there. Nice job. So I think that was Peyton Williams.
Yeah.
No, that was Tyler Hanna, the all-conference corner.
Mount St. Joe's gets in the block kick act.
Yeah.
And finally blocks one after Rose-Hulman has blocked 2 on the day.
They would have been better off going for 2.
Yeah, I didn't say they shouldn't. I said they were.
47-35, 14-18 to go in the game. And we are looking at a kickoff up and coming from Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it just seems like Rose-Hulman, I wouldn't want to say they're snake bit, but it seems like every time something good happens,
they shoot themselves in the foot.
Something bad happens. So there, you got a great play there by Dobbs, makes a great catch and gets down the sideline and scores, and then the PAT gets blocked.
Yeah, so, just doesn't seem like they can get it going any way they want.
Kind of been a broken record today for these Engineers.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, but again, they find themselves here just down by 12 with just under 15 minutes to go here in the game.
Sure. So,
and I'll tell you, Bill, after the first quarter, I think if you'd have told them they they'd be in this game by less than 2 touchdowns with a quarter to go, they would have taken that.
Well, if you take that 21 away, Rose-Hulman would be ahead right now. That spotting them 21 points definitely hurt.
Yeah, that's right. So
Speakman,
guess who?
over to 30, out to the 32.
Oh,
Where else?
25.
25, 27.
Yep.
So he didn't quite get back to the normal.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they're not going to know what to do starting inside the 30.
No, that hasn't happened too often
That's
tonight.
right.
So here we go. Bagnoli is in the backfield now with Tomlin. Tomlin sends 3 receivers to the left. Tight end down to the bottom of the screen. And 1st and 10 from about the 28-yard line, it looks like. And Tomlin gets it out quick. And I think it's Gleans.
Yeah, it is. And Glean's able to use his teammate there to keep himself up. And,
Picks up about 6.
yeah, bounces forward and about a 6-yard gain.
So 2nd and 4. And the Lions wait the call, and I think we'll see a slow break offense at this point where they'll try to utilize most of the clock before they run the plays. 2-by-2 set. Tomlin with Newman back in the game, it looks like.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, the way the yards have been coming in bunches for this line offense, I'm not sure they're going to be able to eat the
Well,
clock.
and that's true, and Tomlin takes off to his left. He's over to throw, and he gets dragged down by number 30 from Rose-Hulman.
That's going to go down as a sack there for number 30,
Sure
Mike
is.
Riley, the senior defensive lineman.
And Mike Riley has 4 TFLs and 1 sack on the season, so give him number 2.
That's right.
Okay, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tomlin with Newman in the backfield. And he looks it over, gets ready for the snap. Play clock runs down. And I would suspect we'll be inside 10 when he calls for the ball. And sure enough, it is. And Tomlin, he finds Gleans over to 50, 45, down to the 44-yard line.
Another big chunk there, Bill.
And a first down.
That's right. And just like that, they're into engineer territory.
So down and distance doesn't really affect Mount St. Joseph the same way it does teams that run the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it sure doesn't seem to, does it?
No, at least not at this point, it doesn't. Be a fun game to see them play the other Mount.
Yeah, it would.
2-by-2 set. Tomlin in the gun with Newman off to his left. Gets ready. Runs the clock down. And a little quick.
Yeah, and I'll tell you,
I'd be careful there, boy.
Gleans never got his head around there. I don't think.
No.
I think we had a little miscommunication there. Gleans was running a deeper post there, and
Number 27 for the Fighting Engineers could have had a pick 6 there if he had been a little bit more alert on that.
yeah. Yeah, so Gleans wasn't any more ready than he was, though.
No, he wasn't. Okay, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Tomlin puts Newman to his right. He gets ready. The clock drops under 10 seconds for the play clock, and he goes to Pankey, and Pankey elevates, but he's not able to bring it down, and double coverage there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, nice job there by the Rose-Hulman defense to actually, get that second defender over the top because, like we mentioned earlier, these guys have been behind them virtually all day.
And it just seems like, they're going to stretch the field no matter what the situation. So, playing defense under isn't always the best way to stop these guys.
That's right, especially when they want to take the top off of you.
All the time. 2-by-2 set. Tomlin, under 10 seconds on the play clock, calls for the ball. He looks, and he's under pressure.
Yeah, he's going to be sacked. And again, that's big number 99. It's Griffin Steffi with a nice sack there.
And so here we go.
So 4th and long, we're going to see another punt here by the Lions. Again, that's been a rare occurrence today.
Yeah, I think this is the 3rd time we've seen Porter out there, and
We've seen Porter a lot today. Just the third time we've seen him punting.
Yeah, which is more than we saw the whole first time. Ooh,
I'll tell you, just about blocked there. So
and the ball's high, lofting kick and rolls.
Takes a Rose-Hulman bounce.
Yeah, sure does. But now it takes a
little bit of a line bounce.
Yeah.
It's going to roll out of bounds or be down right there at the 19-yard line. So with 11:07 left to play, that's where the Fighting Engineers will take over, down by 12.
So, Chuck, next week, Rose-Hulman will be home to Manchester in a Heartland Conference game. And we will be at Urbana next Thursday night.
Yes, we will.
And they believe they play West Virginia Wesleyan.
They do. So they come out now, jet motion across the field, and the give is to White. White cuts it up the middle, and White, again, able to barrel ahead. Picks up about 3 yards, so it's going to make it now 2nd and 7 at about the 22.5-yard line.
And Zach Taylor with the tackle again. Zach Taylor's been a busy defensive lineman for the Lions.
Yes, he has. All right, so again, 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Again, White, the setback, lined up on Dion's right.
Pressure coming off the edge.
Again, they give to White, and just too much penetration there. White never able to get his feet started. So he's going to lose yards. He's going to be back to the original line of scrimmage. So now it's going to be 3rd and 10 now coming up for the Engineers. Actually, I guess they're going to...
Zach Taylor got the tackle again, but Troy Speakman came off the edge, which bent the play back inside. And
yeah, like I said, he never really even had a chance to get his feet going.
No, never.
There's the snap. Dion fakes it to White. Now Dion looks, throws down the middle, complete. Oh, broken tackle. And he's able to get forward for a few more yards. Let's see if we can get a number, and that's number 10. And that is Adam Sturgeon with another nice catch. So again, across midfield now for the Engineers as they try to make another drive here.
And this could get interesting here. And they're
quickly to the line now.
Up to the line.
There's a snap. The give is to White. White picks, looks for a hole there, nothing there. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe get a yard. So 2nd and 9 now for the Engineers.
And Zach
from about the 45-yard line.
Zach Taylor with the tackle, but I think Le'Veon Bell gets to the hole faster than he did on that one. He just kind of walked along there.
Well, you have to be on the team to get to the hole.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But then again, Bell's not on the team right now either.
That was my whole point. Yeah. So 2nd and 9 now.
Okay.
And Dion eyes the defense now. Gets the ball.
And
fakes it to White now. Throws out to the right side.
Ooh.
Complete to number 11. And again, that is Bryce Dobbs, the tight end, who we saw have a touchdown a few possessions ago. Able to pick up a few yards now, get them to a 3rd and 5 situation. So again, the clock continues to roll, though. We're inside 9 minutes to go now. So again, big 3rd down now for Rose-Hulman. They need to convert this.
Yes, they do.
There's the snap.
There's some pressure by Mount St.
Dion
Joseph.
throws. Almost intercepted.
I'll tell you what, Troy Speakman was thinking touchdown on that one.
Yeah, Troy had a nice break on that ball. Again, read that the whole way, and I'll tell you, I don't know if Dion ever saw him, but
no, I don't think
didn't look like it there. So
Troy broke on that ball and just about got there right on time.
Right. So that's going to make it now 4th and 5. And again, if we thought the 3rd down play was big, this is huge right now for the Engineers.
Yeah. And, I might look for that drag play they have had so much success with here, Chuck.
There's the snap. Dion again drops back, throws into the right flat, makes a move. And I'll tell you, but he's going to be knocked down short of the stick. So
sure is.
Turnover on downs, and the Lions crowd is loving it.
Julius Fisher, number 33, with the stop. And Julius just said, hey, you're not getting this first down. We're going to put one of the nails in the coffin here. Can't say they're all in there yet, but that one was a big one.
Yeah, if they're not in there yet, they're awfully close.
Yeah.
So again, 8:31 now left in regulation, and Rose-Hulman trails Mount Union by 12.
And if Mount Union was here, it might be more than 12, though.
Did I say Mount Union? They did. This Rose-Hulman has seen Mount Union.
That's all right. They're both the Mount.
So Mount St. Joe's again now takes over, 1st and 10.
We've got
from the 40-yard line.
3 receivers to the right. and give to Bagnoli, and Bagnoli off the left side and is able to go forward for about 3. And so now I would expect we're going to see a little bit more ground and pound. And
yeah, I would think so. Again, closing in on 8 minutes to go here in regulation, and the Mountain just wants this clock to melt away.
Yeah, and I think the thing is with the potential for injuries and the heat and that, now they just want to get that clock going and get out of here and get everybody healthy so they can get ready for next week.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you noticed, but there has been a decided change in the humidity from the first half. It just continues to get hotter here down at Delhi. So I think you're right. Just to get out of here without any injuries would be a blessing right now.
2x2 set with Newman off to the left to Tomlin, and he looks, gets the ball out quick. Oh!
Yeah, that's going to go as an incomplete pass.
And that's Minor with, I think it's Paul Minor, who the ball was intended for there.
Yeah, he fumbled before he made his football move there, Bill. So
yes, he did.
Not going to go down as a catch.
Yes. And that was on Minor before he really knew the ball was there. And
that's right.
Just couldn't get a handle on it. Okay, so we got 3 receivers to the right and an ace. Now they back out of the ace formation, and they've got 1 receiver to the left, Newman to the left of Tomlin in the gun. There's the snap. He looks. Pankey, I believe, and that's going to be a first down.
Be a first down, that's right.
And sure enough, it is Chase Pankey. And Pankey's the only one of the regular receivers doesn't have 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I bet Pankey's upset right now.
They might be trying to work him down
feels
there
like he's getting
for
left
another
out
one.
of the action.
Yeah. Said, how about a little something,
Yeah, for the effort.
For the effort. So 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. And Newman sets to the left to Tomlin. They're having a little chat there. And Tomlin pointing out where the rush is coming from. And they give it. Oh, no, that's Bagnoli. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And Bagnoli with a 3-yard gain.
And a cloud of dust.
Woody would like that one.
That's right. Well, as dusty as this field turf gets anyway.
Yes. It would be a cloud of rubber beads now.
That's right, yeah.
Or rubber pellets.
Yes. All right, so the clock continues to run. Just under 6.5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter.
And we're going to get we're going to get a little ace formation. Looks actually we got a stack on the inside receivers, and then we've got 1 receiver to the top of the screen and Newman to the left. And this is usually when you get some kind of screen on this type of thing.
Holman showing blitz, and they were offside. So.
Oh, and Tomlin goes down.
Yeah, he does, but it's not going to count, Bill, as they were offsides.
Wow, you know what I saw there, Chuck, which could have been really dangerous for Tomlin, is when that defensive lineman got to him, he turned his back and fell backwards, and the lineman was rolling the other direction with his leg. And quite often, that's when you lose a quarterback.
Well, and I'll tell you, it's a situation where that play probably should have been whistled dead. Again, I don't know that he was unabated, but they were certainly coming hard at the quarterback there after the jump.
So all sorts of different possibilities here, but you might just give it to Ryan Bagnoli and see if he can pick up the 3 yards, and you're going to get a couple shots at it here.
Yeah, that's right. Again, we're inside 6 minutes. Clock is running, so, again, pick up this first down and, just continue to work on that clock.
Tight end and flanker to the left, slot and wide receiver to the right, and we've got Bagnoli in the backfield with Tomlin, and sure enough, he gives it to Bagnoli. He goes off the left side, but nothing doing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, nice job there by the defense of Mount Union. Looks like it was number 22, and that is Mitchell Kelly on the stop. And again, nice job there not giving up the first. So again, just over 5 minutes now left in regulation. It's now 3rd and short for the Lions.
Number 5 comes into the game, Nick Murphy, wide receiver, sophomore from Dawsonville, Georgia. And we saw Nick in the first game we did here.
That's right, yeah.
And Tomlin takes the snap, and he gets it quick to Gleans. And Gleans gets under it for a first down and move the chains.
Boy, I'll tell you, excellent placement there.
Yeah.
Excellent placement, exactly where the ball had to be.
Yep. And that's one of those
The
ones you
receiver went
can't
down to
intercept.
get it, and that's right. No
Yep.
one's going to catch that but the receiver.
Right.
And complete for a first down. So, again, now just about 4.5 minutes left to go, and the clock continues to roll here as the Lions continue to move down the field.
So we've got a tight end and flanker to the right, and slot and wide receiver to the left. Tomlin just taking his time here. Wood Bagnoli in the backfield. And I'll make an observation here, Chuck.
I wish you would, Bill.
In a minute. And Bagnoli bangs ahead for one or two. I almost wonder if Colby Newman was healthy today or completely healthy because, you wonder coming off that Moorhead game if maybe he wasn't banged up a little bit and they weren't going to give him the ball quite as many times today.
Well, and that's the thing. Even if it wasn't the plan, maybe they're just taking advantage of the opportunity to rest him up a little bit. Yeah, because, we saw week one that, he is an explosive player and definitely going to be a big part of this offense. But, he's only a true freshman, too. And, you want to...
you don't want to lose him.
That's right. You don't want to run him ragged before he really gets going.
Yeah, and I am trying to find, Chuck, if I've got the Mount St. Joseph schedule here because I wanted to see who they've got next week as we move forward. Now, this will be our last game with Mount St. Joseph this year, but, we're looking forward to a long-lasting relationship with them.
Actually, the Lions travel to Earlham and face the
Quakers.
Earlham Quakers there in Richmond, Indiana next week. And, again, Earlham, we know, has had their struggles this season. So, again, could be another opportunity for this Lion offense to really come out and roar.
Yes, and I like where you went with
Thank
that.
you, yeah.
So we've got two backs in the backfield. Bagnoli powers through there and picks up about good solid 5 yards, but
yeah, that's right. Bagnoli is a thick running back. And
and they brought in, I think that's
power right there. Is that 44?
44, yeah, we'll get a number.
We saw him earlier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That is the big fullback, and I have to check his name there, Bill. That is...
I'm sorry. And we've got Cole Earls again, a freshman from Blue Ridge, Georgia.
All right.
So Cole banged in there and did a nice job ISO on the linebacker.
Yeah, he did. So stoppage of play now. It's a timeout called. It's going to be 3rd and about 3 when we come back with 4:02 left here in the fourth quarter. Again, your score, Mount St. Joe Lions 47, Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers 35.
And you are listening to Campus Nation on www.campusnation.com.
That's right. You're home for all the sports action that's fit to watch.
The Ohio College football game of the week. And we'll have one more Heartland Conference game the very last week of the season.
That's right, yeah.
We will travel to Bluffton where the Beavers will be taking on the Yellow Jackets of Defiance. So we'll have more HCAC action for you on week 10.
That's
so
right.
We've got two receivers left. We've got two backs again in the backfield, and I would suspect we're going to see some kind of ISO again as they look it over. And sure enough, Bagnoli follows.
Well, I'll tell you, he's hit. As soon as he gets the line of scrimmage, he's not going to get it.
No, and I think he actually is going to come up short of the line of scrimmage even.
That was 52 Jack Heil there in on the play. And, again, that is going to be short. So
I wanted to ask you, is that Heil or Hale?
Well, I've seen Hale spelled a lot of ways. I haven't seen it spelled that way.
Spelled that way. I just, since my colleague is Chuck Hale, I thought I was going to get an interpretation on that.
Noticed I don't spell mine that way.
No, you don't spell it that way. But you never know anymore, Chuck.
That's true. I could always change.
You could.
Yeah.
So number 44, Cole Earls again in backfield to lead for Bagnoli, but not much that time. So now I would expect, Coach Hopperton doesn't want to run up the score. You can tell by the offensive game plan change right here.
Yeah, they've kind of backed it down here in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter, I should say.
They will probably, have to throw here to pick up this first down.
Well, that's the thing. You don't want to, if given the opportunity, they'd love to end the game on offense.
Right.
And so you're right. If they can do something to pick up this first down and, just continue to melt this clock away, that'd be the best thing for them, I think.
And so we've got two to the left, one to the right, two backs in the backfield. Tomlin throws the ball to the middle, and
I'll tell you,
A.J. Gleans.
Wow. A.J. Gleans with another touchdown.
And I believe that's number 4 for A.J. today.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, again, like you said, I don't think that was a situation where necessarily they were going for that, but, hey, he's wide open in the middle of the field. Why wouldn't you throw it to him?
Well, we talked about 4th down. They want to keep the drive alive. That's the responsibility of the defense.
That's right. Yeah, that's
at that
exactly
point.
Right.
So, they didn't get the stop, and and so up and coming for Jerry Porter is the extra point.
All right,
and
so
it's
the kick is
good.
up. It's good. So 3:49 to go here, folks. Your score now, Mount St. Joe Lions 54, Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers 35.
Now, have you see a similarity here, Chuck, with teams that are named Mount, how many points they've scored against Rose-Hulman?
Well, the other Mount did score 54 against them 2 weeks ago. So
Yes.
you might be onto something there,
Yes,
Razor.
so maybe when we're scheduling, we don't schedule teams with the name Mount.
Yeah, that's right. The Rose-Hulman might need to do a Google search of opponents not named Mount.
Yes. That might be the best way to avoid that.
That's right.
But in all seriousness, it is a rivalry game, and these are going to happen now and then. Even, we look at how the Ohio State-Michigan series has went in, recent years. There have been some games that haven't been very close, but yet it's still the rivalry for those two schools.
Yeah, that's true. So, and again, like we talked about, again, this Rose-Hulman team was picked to finish second in the conference this year. So,
yeah. So
they've got some talent. It's
they're
just,
not.
Things just aren't clicking for them right now.
And nice looping kick by Porter, drives it down to about the 2-yard line.
About the 1, and so again that'll come out to the 25-yard line. Again, that's White with a fair catch. So the Engineers will take over 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line and try to get a couple scores here and get back in this thing.
Yep. 3:49 to go in the game. 54-35 in favor of Mount St. Joseph as they get ready to come onto the field. And, you got to be careful because, a pick 6 here would be not recommended. You want to try to keep things respectful.
The snap, the give is no. Fakes to White. And again, the quarterback, Dion keeps it up the middle, and he picks up right about 4 yards. So actually a little more than that to call it 6 yards. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 now for the Fighting Engineers. Now they go to a 5 wide receiver look.
And here
Dion gets the snap, fires down the right side. And I'll tell you.
And that's number 98. Who else? Zach Taylor.
Yeah, that's right. So another big play here by this Mount defense. And again, that's going to bring up another big 3rd down here for the Engineers.
Zach Taylor's played a whale of a game at defensive tackle.
Yeah, played like Jason Taylor today.
Yeah, he sure did. So
there's the snap.
Yeah, and there's
knocked up in the air. Oh, almost intercepted.
Julius Fisher, the linebacker, almost pulls that in, and that would have been all she wrote right there.
Yeah, that's right. So that's going to bring up 4th down,
and this brings up all she wrote.
Yeah, and so it looks like Rose-Hulman's going to bring in the punting unit, and this end of the field, you can't really blame them, but with 3:17 left to play, they may not get the ball back.
Yeah, so here we go. And, it's a bad snap. And this is going to, not.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman falls on it and kills it, but Mount St. Joe is going to get the ball right there at the 31-yard line.
I'm going to show my age, but I was going to say I thought we were going to see a Garo Yepremian there where you're going to see another attempt to kick the ball off the ground.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. Nobody remembers that. No, I've seen that on Football Follies. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm sure football fans know what I'm talking about.
Well, again, there aren't that many out there your age left, Bill.
No, but there is a thing called NFL Films.
Well, like I said, hey, Steve Sable showed me that.
I was going to say Steve Sable. He's kept the NFL alive all these years, no matter how far back they go.
That's right. So 1st and 10 now for the Mount St. Joe Lions.
And Tomlin in the backfield with Bagnoli, 3 receivers to the left, tight end to the right. Give the Bagnoli and number 50, and that is the big offensive guard Alfred Allen comes around and leads for Bagnoli, but it looks like negligent pickup there, but that doesn't matter at this point.
No, the main thing is the clock right now, Bill.
Yep, and plenty of time on the play clock, which is what Tomlin's watching, and they're just trying to let it get under 10 seconds before they snap the ball to utilize as much time on that clock as they can, because we'll be under 1 minute after the next snap.
Under 2 minutes.
Or I'm sorry, 2 minutes. So here we go. Tomlin gives it to Bagnoli, and again, same play. Allen pulls around the right side, and
Yeah, just simple little power play there.
Yeah.
Try to outnumber the defense. And
couple yards.
be 3rd and about 6 now. And again, like you mentioned, Bill, the clock continues to run, and
Yeah.
already at just about the 2 minute mark. So you're right, it'll be well under 2 minutes when this next snap occurs.
We'll be inside 140 when the snap comes, and I would think you might even just see him go on 4th down and kneel it when the ball's snapped back. But we'll see.
We'll see.
So 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Tomlin waits. Clock is now down under 10 seconds on the play clock. Calls for the ball and runs it almost all the way down to no time. And number 20.
Different running back now.
Okay, so we're going to get some recognition for number 20, and that is Michael Williamson, the junior running back from New Richmond, Ohio, 5'9", 190 pounds.
All right, so Lion in high school to a Lion in college.
Yes, indeedy. And so it will be under 1 minute here. And as we suspected, Chuck, though, they could even go into a victory formation, but I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to get the first down, but I would say on the ground.
Yeah. And so we're down.
Now they're going to throw it here. 4th down again, just trying to get the first.
Ooh, and almost lost.
Big sack there by number 52.
And I think Tomlin lost his lid.
No, 52 did. Jack Heil lost his lid right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his lid rolling around on the ground there.
No, so did Tomlin's putting his back on too.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe.
Yeah, Tomlin definitely was helmetless as he came off the field there.
Helmetless, huh?
Helmetless.
Yeah. Is that a word?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
But I just made it.
Yeah. Somebody call Webster's. Get them on the line.
Yes, we'll see if we can put it in there.
Yes.
A new football term.
That's right.
Okay, so there is the snap. And a bunch of clean shirts in there. Number 7 is now in there at quarterback for Rose-Hulman.
And the give is to number 6, and that is a new running back, number 6. That's Derek DeMille, a 6-foot junior out of Olney, Illinois, on the carry.
And Eric Morris is in at quarterback. And as we said, he holds. And that's the game. They're shaking them up right now. So
all right, folks. So, again, your final score here today, Mount St. Joe Lions 54, the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers 35. So,
all in all, it was a pretty good game today, don't you think?
Well, it was a nice comeback by Rose-Hulman. And the way it started didn't look like it was going to go anywhere. But
yeah, that's right, but a lot of back and forth in this game today, and a lot of action.
Sure enough. We're going to get Thomas Pask in here. And
yeah, get Thomas in here, get him on the...
Thomas going to give us some scores.
You want to give us some scores?
Thomas? Okay, so we'll be a couple minutes. We'll get some stats. Hopefully we'll be able to read that.
Did anybody ever tell anyone that they're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal?
I think a couple times.
You're home for high school, college, and professional sports.
Well, that's true.
We're the home of the actual professionals of the PAFL, right?
The champions.
That's right, the champions.
Yes.
Professional amateur football league.
And
or the Cincinnati Chiefs.
Is it professional or amateur?
Well,
Yes.
it's professional and amateur.
And Rick, who is our young lady here that was doing the camera for us here in the second half?
This is Courtney.
Courtney.
And she did an absolutely magnificent job.
She sure did. Maybe we should from Mount St. Joe's University.
Maybe we need,
and Cardinal Stritch High School.
That's right.
Well, that's right.
So,
here, in fact, I'm going to give her the headsets, and she can talk to you about Cardinal Stritch. Right?
Okay.
All right.
It's been a few years. So Courtney, I'm assuming that Father Eric was the principal there.
Yes.
Okay. And so did you play any sports at Cardinal Stritch?
I played soccer, basketball, and I ran track.
Okay, and you're playing basketball here? Yeah. Well, good. Well, I was there a few years ago when the football team was good. And we did pretty well, but I don't think anybody that I taught with or coached with would still be there. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Because it was the early 2000s. Now, both my kids graduated from Cardinal Stritch, too, or my oldest two kids.
Really?
Yeah, so I do have a Cardinal Stritch connection, and knew a lot of the wrestling coaches there who you guys don't have wrestling anymore, which is crazy because the only state championship they won was in wrestling, and they don't have wrestling anymore. But, well, Courtney, yeah, they are, yeah. Yeah, and we didn't get a chance to talk to Blake, but, talk to him about what's going on with the programs here. So, Courtney, well, thank you for helping us. This will be our last visit here, but we plan – we may be back. Okay, and we hope that you can help us for that game. And we will hopefully see you soon.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so again, wrapping up here, we're going to get a few scores here before we cut away.
Okay. And maybe get hey, Rick, could you see about if they've got a stat sheet that we could run down the final stats? So we'll try to get a stat sheet here and give everybody a rundown. And Thomas, you ready? You got your phone fired up there?
Yeah, I got some scores for you guys.
Okay.
And, well, you guys really like the headset's jacked up here, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I've got the box score up on my phone just in case you can't find anything. But the final score, 54-35. Rose-Hulman, Andrew Dion, 20 out of 31, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 2 picks ended up being huge for them, a couple of turnovers. Garrett Wright had the yeoman's work on the ground, 33 carries, 104 yards to go along with the touchdown. The receiving yards, Noah Thomas was the top target, 8 catches, 146 yards, and a score. Bryce Dobbs had 75 yards on 4 catches. That would have been a lot of catches.
75 catches?
Yes,
yeah. Might be a record of
We'd
some
still
kind.
be out here.
It'd have to be, I would think.
He had one of the touchdowns. Sawyer Young, 2 catches, 39 yards, and a touchdown. On the Mount St. Joe side, it's Chayton Tomlin went to 26 out of 39, 558 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The rushing yard, that was just kind of more of a clockwork for them today. Magnolia had 10 carries for 28 yards, and that was the leading yard getter for
rushing.
St. Joe's.
The rushing attack was not part of the offensive attack today.
Didn't need to be today.
No.
It looked like they tried it out early on and said, forget this, we're going to the air. 2 plays and 1 touchdown. Receiving, it was A.J. Glines, 14 catches, get this, 268 yards,
wow.
4 touchdowns. Grayson Roberts, 6 catches, 209, and 3 touchdowns. So that's
monster
heck of a game
averages.
for both of those guys. That's pretty much it for the offensive side of the ball. First downs were pretty even, 26-24. Actually, Rose-Hulman had more first downs, but turnovers, as you guys mentioned, were a big part of this game. Third down efficiency, 12 out of 20 for Rose-Hulman. Still good numbers, 6 out of 13 for Mount St. Joe's. The total yardage, we went over 1,100 yards today, boys.
Wow.
610 for Mount St. Joe's, 506 for Rose-Hulman.
Nice.
Yeah, passing yards, 558 to 349 in favor of Mount St. Joe's. Not a lot of penalties in this one. I noticed.
It was a clean game.
Yeah, it was a pretty clean game. 4 penalties for 60 yards against Mount St. Joe's. Only 2 penalties for 19 yards for Rose-Hulman. 1 interception for Rose-Hulman, 2 for Mount St. Joe's. So taking a look at the scoreboard, we're going to start with the OAC. That's where you might be hearing me for the first time here on these airways.
Hey, Muskingum Muskie, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the best year we had there when I was there was a 5-5 year, and the campus was pretty excited about it. So.
They should be.
Final score here in week number 3, John Carroll 45, Otterbein nothing. Just about a minute left in the game at Muskingum, who will be traveling to Wilmington next week. Marietta 46, Muskingum 20.
Ooh.
Final at ONU, the Quakers travel up to Ada and get trucked 49-16. So get 2 teams probably next week trying to get off the schneid
Get back
a little
on
bit.
on track.
Get this. In the second quarter, it was Mount Union 21, Baldwin Wallace 14. Looked like it might be a game, but I'm sure you can predict how this went. 1:56 left in the third quarter. It's Mount Union 56. Baldwin Wallace still stuck on 14.
What happened?
Mount Union happened.
Yes.
One more game in the OAC coming up later tonight, 7 o'clock kick, Heidelberg at Capital.
Very good. Yeah, with Mount Union, you just never know with them. And, of course, that used to be a big game, BW and Mount Union, but
It's kind of shifted to John Carroll more.
it has shifted to John Carroll, yeah.
In Division I, the top 25, there's a few finals. Number 3, Georgia, an easy win, 49-7 over Middle Tennessee. Number 5, Oklahoma, 37. Iowa State, 27. That was a road game for Oklahoma, and they come out on top. Number 11, Penn State, 63. Kent State, 10.
Well, they were tied at one point.
At one point. At
Number
2
20.
points. I think it was 0-0 to start.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Number 21, Miami, Florida, 49. Toledo, 24. That was a pretty close game for a while. Miami was able to pull away. Number 2, Clemson at home against Georgia Southern, an easy 38-7 win. There were 3 games in the top 25 that were postponed due to the hurricane. UCF at North Carolina, East Carolina at Virginia Tech, and West Virginia and NC State all along the Atlantic coast. Some games still in progress at the moment. Number 9, Stanford, 20. UC Davis, 3. Not a lot of great games here this week in top 25 action, are there? There's one later tonight I'm sure you guys are aware of.
Oh.
Number 8, Notre Dame, 16-3, leaders over Vanderbilt at halftime. Number 19, Michigan, scoreless with SMU early in the second quarter. Let them Wolverines.
There you go. Go Mustangs.
Number 24, Oklahoma State, 7. Boise State, 7. That's number 17, Boise State. So 2 top 25 teams going at it in Oklahoma State in the second quarter. Number 6, Wisconsin, actually down at home to BYU, 14-7.
Uh-oh.
12-17 to go in the second quarter. So much time left in that one.
A lot of football left.
Yeah, I don't think I'm too worried about that.
One of the 2 games of the day, end of the first quarter. Number 12, LSU, 7. Number 7, Auburn, nothing. Auburn with the ball at the end of the first quarter.
And, of course, Joe Burrow from Ohio State
That's right.
is the transfer quarterback at LSU.
Off to a decent start, it sounds like.
Yes, he is.
Number 20, Oregon, is a 43-point favorite tonight against San Jose State. The number 1 team in the land, Alabama, on the road against Ole Miss. That's a 7 o'clock kick. Mississippi State against UL Lafayette. That's a 7:30 start. And the game everybody here, I'm sure, looking forward to. Number 4, Ohio State at number 15, TCU. That's the game everybody circled when Urban Meyer's suspension came down. 3 games, oh no, can they win on the road at TCU without their coach? Well, Vegas seems pretty confident. They're a 13-point favorite. Any thoughts on that one tonight, guys?
Yeah, and that's continued to go up. It was 11 this morning, so I think the strong money's going with the Buckeyes on that. Although TCU, you have to be careful with TCU because they've beaten Oklahoma, they've beaten Georgia, they have taken on all comers, Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl a few years ago, and been able to upset them. So, and they've got to be aware of that, and I'm sure they are. I don't think Ryan Day's trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I think it's all going to come down to Ohio State's defense tonight. They're going to have to find a way to really shut down that TCU offense.
And I think TCU is going to have to address Ohio State's size and speed on offenses. They don't see teams like that in the Big 12, maybe outside of Oklahoma.
So rounding out the top 25, just 3 more games. Number 22, USC at Texas. Always a classic when those 2 teams are on the field, regardless if they stink or if they're great.
It'll still be a great game.
It'll still get,
because those head coaches want their jobs.
That's
Texas
right.
actually a 3.5-point favorite at home against the ranked opponent, so should be a close one, hopefully. Number 10, Washington is at Utah. Always a juggernaut to go play at Utah for any ranked team, especially at night. And then rounding out, number 23, Arizona State is at San Diego State. That's the late game. Probably find that one a gambler's delight trying to chase the early part of the day.
Let's go Aztecs.
Do we have any score on the Florida State-Syracuse game? Because Syracuse was ahead in that game, and I think Florida State's looking at starting out 0-3. And I think that would have been...
I clicked AAC instead of ACC. There we go.
There is a little difference there.
Probably is some AAC games going on.
There probably is.
Florida State is 0-3, as you mentioned. Syracuse, a 30-7 win over Florida State. Florida State has just bottomed out. Huh?
Yeah.
Maybe Jimbo knew what he was doing.
He might have. Yeah. He might have seen that coming when he got out.
Rounding out some Big Ten scores, Illinois 10-7 over South Florida. That's still early on. Again, Michigan and SMU scoreless in the second quarter. Minnesota leads Miami, Ohio 7-0. 12.5 to go in the first half. Again, Wisconsin still chasing BYU. They're down 14-7. There's more games or some final scores. Indiana over Ball State, easy. Kansas over Rutgers, big. Kansas 2-1. How about that?
Wow, the Jayhawks, buddy. Yeah.
Temple 35, Maryland 14. Nebraska loses to Troy at home 24-19.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that developing. Yeah, Troy was the Trojans of Troy.
Games yet to kick in the Big Ten. Of course, we mentioned the Buckeyes against the Horned Frogs, but it's Northern Iowa against Iowa. 7:30 start. Akron at Northwestern also, and Mizzou at Purdue.
Any Heartland results for our Heartland enthusiast here since
we get a refresh?
I know one.
Yeah, we know one of them.
Yeah.
We know that Mount St. Joseph beat Rose-Hulman in the top game in the conference.
So there you go. 54-35 is the final here. Franklin at Anderson, that's a final. Franklin 51, Anderson 27. 5:05 left in the third quarter. Bluffton leads Earlham 21-0.
And Earlham just, boy.
Yeah, the woes continue there.
And
for
it's
the
going to get
Quakers.
worse next week because they have to take on Mount St. Joseph.
And then just one other game here tonight. It's a 6 o'clock start, Defiance at Manchester.
Okay.
So just 3 games, 2 games final, and 1 game Bluffton up pretty big midway through the third quarter.
Okay. I'm Thomas. We look forward to you being with us next week for the Wilmington-Muskingum game as you get
Yeah.
to see your alma mater take the field.
I'll call it down the middle, I promise.
So for Thomas Pask and Rick Phillips and Chuck Hale, I'm Bill Rayback. Heyl. No. Sorry, Hammer. So
It's all right, Raisin.
you've been listening to Campus Nation here. And if you want to see this game again, it's on demand at www.campusnation.com, servicing you for all your sports, whether it be football, basketball, boxing, soccer, you name it. We're there. We're going to bring it to you.
Boxing? Have we?
We're going to get there.
Been there?
We're
Okay.
we're working on that. So from Schueler Stadium in Delhi, you've been listening to Campus Nation. Good night, everyone.
Good night.